starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And tonight, a little bit different twist on investing. Investing in yourself, your mind, your soul, your body, and it creates wealth when you are alert, paying attention, and have the purpose of trying to create wealth, passive income. But it is health is wealth because we had discussions about this Dr. Sebi. So, you know what I did? I said, let me pull up one of his formulas that he's talking about. All right, well, we have something to talk about with that. And as you guys know, let me just start it off straight off. A lot of people need help out here in the United States. You can use findhelp.org. Just in the US, you put in your zip code, and then you will see what is available to you. You will be shocked. And I got to always shout out to Matthew Lesko for giving us that information about a year and a half ago. So, once again, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we do here. We try to help people stop struggling now. And welcome again. Stop Struggling Now gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much once again for being here. Please share the videos because you never know who's out here looking for information. You want to get into the findhelp.org? So do it. That's also mental health. That's also helping with your rent. That's also helping if your car breaks down. That's also if you need assistance for caregiving. There's a bunch of things. Bus passes, subway passes, monorail passes. It has a lot of things in your zip code. Where you live, city and state and county does matter. More services in cities, of course. Larger cities, of course. Lower, smaller cities, maybe not as much. That is the difference between rural and city. All right, let's get into it, shall we, ladies and gentlemen? First things first, you already know about findhelp.org. You can also get grants. You can also get a few things medical, job training, bunch of things. If you are in debt, debt is the killer for building wealth. So, if you want to reduce your debt without having to have bad credit, then I would suggest debt consolidation, debt resolution, and we have the person right for you. Make sure you always have your pen, pads, and papers ready because, once again, you need it here to do your own research. Here's the email to get in touch with Tracy, TRACY, .sharpe, SHARP, with an E at the end, at moneyladder.com. It takes 1 year to 2 years, but you should email her before you decide to do anything that could be derogatory for your credit because you will need good credit in the future. Let's just face facts. You guys know we talk the real deal. If you already know that 80% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, 85% of Canadians are living paycheck to paycheck, then you know credit card debt And debt in itself is going to keep continuing to go higher because people are going to start leaning on their credit cards, available funds, wherever they can grab them from, because you're living paycheck to paycheck during the month. That's just going to keep snowballing because interest is way too high. So, our goal here for you is to make sure you have a 775 credit score in 1 year. That was the idea. We counted down from 3 years. Now we're down to 11 months and 10 days. We still need you to get there. There's always a runway. I always give you an early runway. That's early. But you still need to start working on it because you want to have that 0% interest. You want to create wealth. You need disposable income. So that's why in the chat room, I will give you the email and you can see a video almost done maybe even 2 years ago with Tracy when she worked for another company, but it works along those same lines. But then you'll have the 2026 updated version once you email her. You guys understand the assignment. Why? Because in 6 to 8 months from now and beyond, there's going to be things like 0% interest for 36 months. It's already 0% interest for 24 months, but it's going to go higher. So we want you guys to be prepared for this because health is on the line. When you're stressed out, you're giving off certain things in your body that is harmful for your body. Heart, extra weight, agitation, can't sleep at night, which causes a problem in itself. You keep compounding, then you don't eat, or you eat too much, and you're eating bad stuff. So then it compounds on you. Health is wealth, ladies and gentlemen. If you're not healthy and you're going through something, then it's going to distract you from your number one goals. Clarity is what you need. So now, passive income, since we did mention this as well, we need to create wealth. So, passive income ideas, it's very, very simple. There's dividend stocks. You want a little 4%, which is not wise to me, but other people, if you have a lot of money sitting around, 4%, getting it back from the bond treasuries of the United States, that works, 4.2%. Okay. So, let's get these wealth items understood. A home is a liability. That's your first thing. Don't be thinking like this is 1950s or 60s because even then homes were not an asset because they didn't go up this fast. Until the 1980s, all of a sudden homes started going up because they started manipulating the system even more. And that is where they can hold trillions of dollars of paper assets for every mortgage they produce. That is assets under management at the full value. So if I sell a house, I'm a bank, I give you a loan for the $1 million, even though you can only put down maybe 100 grand, that other $900,000 has not been paid yet. Just saying, the bank can act like it has been paid. And soon as they have 100 of these things, and you start talking about $100 million, then they wave around and said, "Who will take over this mortgage?" Those are derivatives because they're going to get 60 million, $50 million without the risk. The person that bought the paper is taking the risk. That is how this goes. So we got to make sure you get passive income yourself. Stock market is a wise choice because there are all kind of dividend options. Dividends in the form of every week, every month, every 3 months, semi-annually, and even annually. Now, if you want something that you guys, if you've been around, you already know what I like because I like some of the big boys, the JP Morgan. I like what they've been doing with their JEPQ because it's roughly around 10 to 10.5%. And I love their JEPI because that keeps it around 7 to 7.5%. So that's what I call awesome. Now, whenever the Fed starts messing around with interest rates, then I like even more real estate investment trust, mortgage backed securities, because They're reducing the rates so their friends can borrow at near 0% interest-only loans for 10, 15, 20, 25 years. If you had interest-only loans for 2% for 20 years, I think your life would be a whole lot better, wouldn't it? But that's corporations, that's companies, that's the top 5% of the wealthiest get these advantages most often. Corporations get these advantages. So you see, you're down here with the rest of the sheep. We're down here working our asses off. These guys are laughing at us because they have an easier path, just like you would have an easier path. But that's why we're going to go around the system. And that's why get that 0% interest for 3 years is coming. 2 years is now, which still helps out everybody. But your credit score can't be something like 650, 620, 600. You're going to be in the mid 70s and you can still get that 750, 725. You're still good. 0% for 24 months. The interest rate's 0%. So, again, ladies and gentlemen, that's what you got to do. Let me see you in the house. Oh my, the truth trill is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. And he gave a 99-cent donation, which I humbly appreciate. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. Money, mouth, face. Okay, I like it. He says, hey, man, I messed up yesterday. I seen 16K go up yesterday and I didn't take it out. Oh, I don't feel too bad. I have money, but that was a 8X. Oh my. You've done what a lot of people do. Once it start rising, people say go, 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 go. Then they don't know when to take it out because you're like, if I take it out now and it keeps going up, man, I could lose. And then after it starts dropping, you're like, well, it's pushing. It'll go back up. And then it keeps dropping and you're like, it could go back. But that's why you have to invest. One of the strongest urges is to be happy with your profit and say, okay, even if it goes up from now, I have all of this profit. It's nothing more than just like at a casino. I know a lot of you had went to casinos or played online casinos or something, and you've had friends or you're watching over their shoulder and you're sitting there saying, hey man, you even in 5 to 10x your money. Why don't you take it out? The answer is usually 99% of the time. Why? I'm on a roll. Look at what's happening. And then the responsible friend says, hey man, this is going to end sometime. Are you happy with what you have now? And oftentimes people will give back all of the winnings and even start reaching back in their pocket thinking that there's going to be a comeback because that dopamine going in your brain and body's going, oh, the euphoria. And then walking off, coulda, shoulda, woulda. Sadly, that's human nature. So I understand you not taking it out. This is something that we all battle with because it has to do with something that you could use. If it didn't matter, then of course you might say, well, since it doesn't really matter, I got this profit, let me do it. But again, an investor sooner or later starts realizing, let me take this profit and be happy. Like some people would say, when they're doing stock market trading, they go, well, all I want is 1% a day. Some people would say, well, wait, how much is 1%? The person's going, what difference does it make? It's 1%. That's what I'm going for. So when I get 1%, I shut it down. Doesn't really matter what the number is. It's 1% of whatever my values are. So whether I have 100,000, 100 million, 10 million, 1% to that person is based on his bankroll. So as long as he's happy, that's how you start thinking about investing. On the other side, when I start talking about real estate investment trust, I like 13%. I like 15%. I like 17%. I like 18% if I can get it. And I know the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell called me up and said, Eric, you know we're reducing the rate, but hold on, man. I don't know. We were. But you see all this crazy madness going on out here. I said, yeah, man. I see. I get you. I don't know what to tell you guys. In fact, I'm like, you should have been raising the rate. Oh no. No, we can't do that. I'm like, you should be. We got the hell of inflation. What are you talking about right now? It's above 3. I don't really care what these guys are doing. Again, if you have to be true to yourself. So if you want to talk about real estate investment trust, let's go. You guys know my favorites. If you've been here, ORC, PSEC, ARR, highly volatile, but not those, but AGNC, highly volatile, ARR. But now, when the government said we're going to actually put money into mortgage backed securities, some of these REITs are mortgage backed REITs. So winning is good. So these guys giving out right now around anywhere those I just mentioned, 13% to 19. When everything gets back to normal, of if that's a thing, their stock price will appreciate a little bit, and you can just sit back and collect your 13% to 19% for a while. There's also high risk, high rewards. You can try a look at IVR also. I did mention ARR, but again, there's several. NLY. Okay, just give you guys some ideas. Also, what starts happening when money starts getting weird, don't forget about oil storage on boats, container boats. When there's a glut of oil, they give out some nice dividends. You might be able to still get in early before this starts going up, because basically, if the stock price goes up, your yield goes down, the interest goes down. So just think about all that. All right. So you didn't mess up, man. As long as you made some money, then you're good. And if you didn't, you know what happens when you take L's? You learn. You learn and can improve the next time. All right. So now I'm waiting for it to go back up, hopefully. Okay. What were you talking about went up, though? Are you talking about the what? I mean, gold, you're talking about silver, you're talking about the NASDAQ, you're talking about the Dow. I mean, everything kind of went up this morning. Predictable as normal, just like on Monday when we were talking about get ready to back up the truck because we knew there was going to be a downside on Tuesday. And then, as on cue in America, it always happens. They need people to come back in. So the Federal Reserve, these banks, everybody's on board. Guys, you better be buying up these securities today. We need a boom, and we need some retail investors to come back in. And that's what happens. Retail investors come back in, stock markets start going up. Some people start going, well, I can't lose out. Let me get back in. I should have bought on Monday night, Tuesday morning, Tuesday afternoon. I don't know what I was thinking. Right? Now, stock market pops as expected. This is what the United States has to do. That's the only way they're going to get countries to invest in America. Now, you got to be cognizant of this situation and understand what is happening so you can ride the tailwinds. That's what you're trying to do. You don't get to manipulate the system, but you can ride the tailwinds as long as you're reading the tea leaves. All right. Now, one other thing. Let's find out what he was talking about. And then your health as well, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Remember, so now I'm waiting to go back up, hopefully. Well, we'll see, man. It depends. But wait, it depends on what you're doing, because you can actually make money on the way down if you're doing stock market trading. And oh, by the way, I should always mention this from now on. We have a Bancus credit card. It's not a credit card. A Bancus MasterCard debit card. Has the MasterCard logo on the debit card. They take crypto. All right. Now, passive income after somebody signs up. So you guys need to sign up. And basically, signing up means you're downloading the app. I mean, how simple is that, really? I mean, that's basically what you're doing. You're downloading the app. Download the app, please. I'm putting it in the chat room after this live stream. Down below in the description box, this will also be there. But right now, you can click the link, download the app. That's all you have to do. Why? Then you'll have the app, you'll have your download information, the app, and you send out to family and friends. But you tell them, here's the Zoom call on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 2 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Eastern. And then you start telling them, well, every time somebody orders a card, you get a little piece of money, which is fine. Passive, obviously. Then, whenever somebody uploads or loads the card, you make a little bit of money. So now it's always passive because if somebody uses the card often or just even a little bit, that means money is added into your account. And because it's a MasterCard, you can use it almost anywhere in the world. ATM machines. Can't use it at the bank, though, which is a good thing, because your name is not on the card. A true black card, but it's not a black card. The plastic card costs $45. That includes $10 shipping. The metal card, which does not have the tap feature, is $85. Shipped to the US, 2 to 3 weeks. Shipped other places because UPS or the postal services are barely existent, could be 3 weeks to 6 weeks. Just saying. All depends on where you live. But that's not the keys to the whole puzzle. The key is they use crypto. So you send crypto to your card. It's a prepaid debit card. It's not inside the United States. It's not anything to do with the US, which I love. That puts you outside the US jurisdiction. So your bank account or none of your money is going to be stolen. Let's just call it what it is. A lot of people go, what are you talking about? Well, until it happens to you and you sit there and be like, well, okay, where's my money? And then you're in there arguing and say, what's happening? When that happens to you the first time, then you'll understand. If you start studying history in the Great Depression, when they closed down the banks and called it a bank holiday, people didn't have any money. All right? Just keep this in mind. And for a generation, people did not put money or leave money in the bank because of that. Like my grandmother did not leave money in a bank. Her friends did not leave money in a bank. A lot of people did not leave money in a bank. Again, I've told this story before when I was a little kid, very small, and they were out front at their house, and I was there, and this person walked up. There was 4 or 5 adults talking after they got off work, sitting there lounging, chilling. A person walks up and they said, "Hey, where you been?" And the woman says, "Oh, I went down to the bank." As a kid, I didn't know what was going on because the 4 or 5 adults that were sitting there all said the same thing. They all were like, "What are you doing? You know you don't put your money in a bank." And I'm sitting there like, "What are they talking about? I know there's a bank. I've seen banks." They're afraid to put their money in a bank for a reason because they lived through the Great Depression when the banks stole people's life savings. So that's why they had a whole different response to a person going, "Well, I'm sorry I didn't come till now. There was a line at the bank and I had to get," and they're all like, "What the hell are you doing?" As I got older and learned history, then I understood why they had that response. We haven't lived through it. A lot of people haven't lived through that, but I've lived through it, and other people have lived through 2008 and 2009, where a bank says, "Oh, you got a few hundred G's in there? Let me just take it." Because we're going out of business if we don't grab money from all these accounts. Not all, some of these accounts. We're going to have a problem. We got to call notes due. Your mortgages. We got to call a few of these due. Either they got to pay us or we got to flip that house because we're about to lose everything. People don't know it didn't happen to everybody. It only happened to a few people and a few 100,000, a few million. That's it. So the mass amount of people in America don't know nothing about this type of activity, but it goes down. And because we have social media, you guys can easily just Google, or I'm sure there's somebody that has stories on YouTube, on social media. I'm just saying, you'll find out this is not just me and three people that this has happened to. All right. Just keep all this in mind. And I hope you're doing good today. You're here and we're live, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. And by the way, health is wealth. And when you can calm your nerves, when you have things going in a positive direction, you're going to feel a whole lot better. But we got help for you in case you can't calm your nerves and your body may be going through all kind of things. So we're going to get into this, the truth trill. I know you're going to love this. No, I was going to leave with, I put in 2,236. What were you doing though? I don't understand. Were you trading or what were you doing? So the Bancus link is down here. And the other part to the Bancus is I can, if you have a Bancus account, I have a Bancus account, and I want to send somebody money anywhere in the world to their Bancus. All I have to do, put in your email address that's on your Bancus account, put in the dollar amount, and hit send. Guess what happens in like 1 minute? That amount of money is in your account with no fees. So if I send you 2 G's, your account will show 2 G's. You can be across borders. You could be on the other side of the world. And now you have your MasterCard logo where you can go to the ATM machine and you can take out whatever their limits are, whether it's 400 a day, 250 a day, 1,000 a day, or 3,000. Does not matter. In US dollars, I'm referring to, because other currency is different. But the point I'm trying to make is you have the money, no MoneyGram needed, no Western Union, no Wise, no all these other things. It's instantly there. Nobody's stopping it. Why? Because again, they're using crypto. That's how you deposit and send money to the card. So there is no chargeback features. Once you send the money to your account, the Visa, the crypto, USDT, USDC, it's in your account. So it's flush. So you send out to people all over the world. Like I said on Monday, my friends in Cali, they're Latin. They send money to all of the Mexico down to Argentina, down to Chile, down. There's people in America that have relatives that are in these countries. They're going to Western Union. They're going using MoneyGrams. They're going down using whatever, but they always get a fee. Now, no fee. So they get that. There's going to be a fee, obviously, when you load. It's 4%. But for me to send money to somebody else, no fee. That person on the other end, if they go to an ATM that charges no fee, then they can take their money out, no fee. So that is the thing. There are countries where there are no banks. There's countries where there are banks that people go bankless because they can't open up an account. So what do they have to do to receive money? Well, you got to go to one of these money exchangers, right? They do charge. Just saying. All right. Hopefully that helps you guys on why you want that Bancus. I put it in the chat room. Make sure you use it. Post-retirement travel, fresh back from pulling up the truck yesterday for the stock buying that we did predict on Monday. And now today he gets to rejoice because the stocks you buy went up. And oh, by the way, I forgot the VOO because we were talking about stocks. VOO, VOOG, these are Vanguard groups. VTI, VGT, SCHD out of courtesy for post-retirement travel, Mr. Worldwide 2. Welcome again to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. And he has a membership icon next to his name, which I humbly appreciate. We do have memberships here now. Thank you so much. He brings his tagline, hello all, let's do this. That's what we do here. We try to help you, ladies and gentlemen. That's why you need your pen, pad, and paper. But today is a special day because your health is your wealth, and we can talk about all the different things out here in post-retirement travel. Hopefully, you have that big salsa dance today after what happened today. We knew $600 on the Dow, 600 points on the Dow. I don't remember the rest, but that was the main one. So it was awesome. Let's go. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't sell it. It's crypto coin called USOR. Oh no. I know. Gonna put 300 more in it. It's down 84%. Hey man, that's a new coin. Don't hey, that's a pump and dump. You gotta understand what the crypto situation is. They pumped it up. You were supposed to hit the exit button. If it was Bitcoin or something like that, obviously you would hit the exit button. All I'm trying to say is these off coins, I've never heard of that, and I don't really look for crypto stuff because all crypto is crashed and burned. Like, all these people that had NFTs, we were kind of hoping NFTs were going to be valuable. Well, Jesus. Oh man. All them people that were buying NFTs for 2 million, 3 million, 1 million, 500 G's, they're worthless now. But all of these off coins, they pump and they dump them. So yes, I can't sugarcoat the true trill. You were supposed to take that 16x. You weren't supposed to be going, hey, well, I'll wait till it goes. No, 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 no. You should have done it. Should have pulled the trigger. I don't know about chasing. That's a gambler situation. I'm not chasing anymore. After it comes back down, it's going to continue. It was a pump and dump usually until it settles to a very low price. But you were supposed to get out with the founders. That's what you were supposed to do. You were supposed to get out when they got out. You weren't supposed to sit there at all. All right. On any new coins, ladies and gentlemen, you're supposed to take the profits. I'm up on silver. Up, got in at 68. It's almost 92 now. Yeah, it went up to 94 and it has stalled, which I am shocked. The world of the EU and the United States, these guys have managed to continue to be able to depress the silver and gold markets. It's incredible. Unbelievable. I was watching it last night. I saw it go up from 90. It went down to like 91. Then all of a sudden it started moving. Obviously, I'm doing some little trading. I said, oh, let me enter. It went up to 91, 92, 93 over time, not immediately. And then it went to 94. And I'm like, uh-oh. I was waiting for the next, because once that was about the high. So I was like, okay, if it goes up past this, then there's going to be some sort of $5 to $10 upward trend. Oh no, it hit that 94, 94.50 maybe, somewhere in there. And all of a sudden it started like it had a ceiling, like it went boom, and then started coming down. I started laughing. Now, keep in mind, this was late night, so it's the Asian market. But remember, everybody can trade 24 at that time. There were people up that was making sure that baby was not going to 100. They were making sure. They were like, we're not going to bed. Because if we go to bed and we don't force this down by doing all these orders, we wake up and it could be 105. We're going to be screwed because we're shorting the market like JP Morgan, right? So just keep all that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. Now, your health, though, one thing about health, you need less stress. That is a key. So people say, Eric, how do you stay calm? I say, hey, because after something happens, there's nothing I can do about it. Backing up the truck yesterday was sweet. I know it was. Today we're in the solid green. I know. You still have a chance to back up the truck. Do it tomorrow. Enjoy the ride. Exactly. This isn't over, ladies and gentlemen. You're not understanding what is happening if you are new here, because we've been talking about this for over 2 years, telling you you had this time because we were already on it when Amazon, Microsoft, all these Nvidia, all these guys announced 2 years ago that they were going to start buying back their own shares of stock. Just these three companies, it was $15 billion over 3 years. So we knew Nvidia stock's going to rise. We know Microsoft's going to rise. We know Tesla's going to rise. We know all these stocks are going to rise. They're buying back their own shares of stock in the billions of dollars. When you start adding all of them together and you start going, well, there's 20, there's 30, there's 40 billion. All of a sudden, these companies work with each other. So now, by default, they're ordering goods and services from each other. And all of a sudden, everybody's right. Not everybody, but the top 30 companies are rising, which carry some of these indexes. So we know what's going to happen. So anytime that there's a dip, that's why, especially significant where it's the stock index is 1% or more, you need to buy late that night or in the morning the next day. Either way, that's the code. And you already know they are not done. They still have another year, ladies and gentlemen. So they're going to continue to do business together. The government is helping them. They are protected by competition. So again, just be in the game. Some of you would say, all right, all right, all right, we'll go. Let's go. Who else we got in the house? MDA 0214. Welcome. Another investor's here to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. He says, would you agree life insurance is the most misrepresentative but most versatile assets? You hit the first part first. It's the most misrepresented. That's the word to use. Very well said. And the second part is very true. It is one of the most versatile assets. But again, the mess up is because there used to be a simple pattern on what you could do to help build wealth with insurance. Then they started coming off with all these other freaking plans. And then it diluted the understanding of what insurance was supposed to do, because Walt Disney borrowed against his insurance. So people take part of that story, then said, oh, yeah, get a UL. I'm like, wait, but his wasn't that. Because you have to, there's so many different insurance plans that you have to be very careful. And I'm not the one to talk to. I'm not an insurance agent about this. It's just that you have to get something. It builds, you can build a cash advance option for yourself, but you can do that with other ones too. So there's different ones and you have to study and go make sure it fits what you're trying to do. If you're trying to do the Rockefeller plan, that's a whole nother ball game. But again, we're not talking about that today. I'm not adept at this. All right. I know kind of how it works. I can talk about it a little bit, but not today. Maybe one of these other days we'll talk about it, because there's too many different things, and the dilution and the misrepresentation comes from things like when they do what's some guys that used to be TL Williams, DL Williams, when you have these network marketing companies selling insurance and then telling people you can make money, and they're stacking fees on top, siphoning off what should have went into your account to earn money. It starts it's so much happening out here with that. And I agree with your statement wholeheartedly. All right. I told what it was you talking and not reading. Uh-oh. Hold on. What was it? No, I didn't see it. Oh, hold on. Let me put this on screen because I don't know what it is. See a coin called USOR. I again, USOR is not Bitcoin and it's not Ethereum. Again, pump and dumps. I don't really well, let me go look. Mem coin explodes. Proceed with caution. U.S. oil reserve joins gold with 295% surge to all-time high while crypto crashes. USOR, Solano's 2026 oil theme. Okay. Again, I'm not. I'm not a fan. I'm not even a fan. Let's just call it. I'm not a fan. I do. I used to believe crypto was trying to do something. Now I realize people come up with these coins. Everything seems to be a pump and dump. It's down 85.8%. That's 85% wiped. Market cap, it looks like 8.9. Is that total supply is over a million? Is a million. Max supply is a million coins. Oh yeah, it was 7 cents. Now it's under 1 cent. It's a classic pump and dump. There's no reason to put any more money into this. Zero reasons. It's CoinGecko right now. It's at 0.004, down from over, what was that? It looks like 7.2 cents. It was 7.2 cents last night, and then a straight drop because of you know what? The pump and then the dump. And it dropped all the way down to 0.008. And now it's at 0.008. That is 3 digits. That's 100. That's 1,000. Or actually, hold on, it's 100, I think. But either way, that's significant. It went from, like I said, 7 cents, 7.2 cents, down to point zero zero. How many zeros? Two zeros and an 8, 0.008. Yeah, it's not coming off the mat, man. This is classic pump and dump. You should have exited this. This is crazy. I don't even care who says they're doing it. US oil. Again, this is crypto. You need more people to buy and constantly buy, backed by, guess what? Nothing. And even if they say it's backed by a company, we all got blown out with debt box and all this, that, and the other. So again, 85.8. I don't know, man. Up on silver, yeah. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Okay. I told you I was trading crypto. Oh, yeah. I didn't know what that was. Yeah, I missed that one. That's why I asked. But all right, cool, man. Let's get into something else because um I know. He's like, I know. He knows the error of his ways. I'm at $67 on silver. Either way, you done great with silver, man. This is what's expected. You did a great job at silver. Silver's gonna well, they have already started to try to depress it again. But I don't think this time the cat's gonna be out of the bag because the way the United States is acting, the rest of the world is now going to safe markets as well, buying more gold and silver. The thing about that is gold hit all-time record high last night. It was at 4,700. And yes, I was on. It was like 10 at night, 11 at night, somewhere like that, Pacific time. So it was winning on the stock market trading, winning. All right. So took the ride. Silver took the ride, winning. I don't know about the ride now because, again, that was short lived because they now have to recalibrate. You got to remember there's banks, there's holders of gold who have took money for gold that they do not have, silver they do not have. So that is why they have to keep the price down. Because if people start asking for their physical, now all of a sudden they have to go buy it. And the price now is 30 to 50% more, maybe even 60 or 70%. Actually, it is. It's hundreds percent. It's because it was 40, 30 something, and now it's 90. That's 300, 400% more. So now they can't, that's how much they would have to spend to go get it. That's why they have every interest. They'd rather spend something to depress the market than have all these people calling up. And then when they don't have it, they have to spend that money to buy it or not. That causes lawsuits, which is going to cost them money. They're going to lose, but they'll pay a little bit of money. But the fact of the matter is, they got problems, big problems, 400% and rising. So they would have to buy at a higher price. The price would start escalating like a short squeeze. So they're in a catch 22. So they all band together because they're holding the most money, and they make sure that they're trying to figure out how can we keep this down. Gold said poof, 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 poof last night. Silver didn't do like gold did. It just went up a little bit, then it started plateauing around 94, 94 and a half, somewhere in there. And then gold just kept. I was sitting there looking at it like, this is unreal. The whole world must be buying gold right now, or at least the Asian markets. I was like, this is crazy. So I expect both of these metals to continue to rise, even though there's pressure to bring them back down because it's over. Banks will go out of business. Okay, here we go. I know the silver market been opening up early. Lots of love. It's still trading now. Exactly. Oh no, it's trading 24/7. It's trading 24. Oh, and the other thing is all brokers don't do 20. All brokers may not do certain metals or silver, gold, or whatever 24/7. But yeah, it's trading right now. It's 24/7. 20 both 24/7. Gold, silver. I don't even look at the platinum palladiums or anything like that. But those guys 24/7. So some I have a broker Coinex, they shut down the US market, Bitcoin at midnight GMT 00 for 1 hour. They won't allow you to trade on those three. And probably others like the last night I accidentally had Australia currency, Australia and USD. Oh, by the way, yesterday the Australian dollar, yeah, against the US dollar started rising. I didn't do anything with that, but it was an accident that it was even up for me. And I was like, what the heck? And I was like, oh, so that was live. But some things aren't with Coinex for an hour from 12, like I said, GMT 00 to 1. So basically 00 to 1 Eastern EU zone. All right, let's go. That's right. I blame the agents, but simple whole life insurance, you insure your car, but why not insure yourself? The other stuff is secondary. You have to find a trusted agent. There you go. You're saying everything that is appropriate. You're giving information to people. This is number one. And the problem is with the insurance is the agents get paid. See that's where the problem comes in. So they skew what they're going to say because they have an incentive to tell you a little white lie, stretch the truth, and then they get paid every time you renew. It's an ongoing situation. So with them receiving income. And by the way, your premiums more because of that. So again, that's what makes it so bad. And there's different insurance companies. And not all insurance companies are equal. Just that's the problem. I agree with this 100%. This is why it's mumbo jumbo. Just like when you go see a lawyer, and one lawyer will say, "Well, hey, for your case, I got to charge you 30 grand." Another lawyer go, "Well, for your case, I'll charge you 100 grand." It's all over the map with the charge, how much they're going to want to get up front, and there's no set numbers. There's nothing. So now, and each lawyer operates differently. They have different ways of proceeding. So therefore, there's no universal system. Insurance is the same way. No universal system as far as I'm concerned, because I can go see 5 different insurance companies, tell them the exact same thing. All 5 would say, "Well, we think you should do it this way." That's the thing. Right now, there's a situation, even right now, when we started talking about irrevocable trust, there's people who will say, irrevocable trust, thumbs up, great. Other people will say, the same tax guys, licensed tax professionals, lawyers, will say opposite things. Some would say, no, no irrevocable trust. Then others go, yes, irrevocable trust. Others say, well, do it this way. We'll do it protect trust, bond trust, business trust. All of a sudden, it's all over the place. So therefore, you can always charge people, right? Because once you have this, it should just be a simple, direct thing. It should just be like, hey, man, this is the features, take it or leave it. Why are we dilly dallying around with all this? But they got reasons because they get paid every time somebody wants to do something. So now you get confused. And whenever you're confused, you look at one person that you feel comfortable with and you can trust. So then they earn your business. But that's what they are telling you. But somebody else might have had a better idea for you to succeed. So again, this is the world we live in a capitalist system. And this is what I always never liked about, the capitalist system, is because they make it complicated for things that you need to build wealth. And that's always been my pet peeve. That's another reason I started to Stop Struggling Now channel. I'm trying to make things as easy as possible for people to understand, just because these guys are using different lingo, right? Just like in the stock trading game, right? They use different lingo. So that's what many people are, we have to study because I don't know the lingo. So once you get the lingo, once you understand what's going on, okay, you feel a little more comfortable, but it's not like second nature, right? So that's why when you go and get a mortgage in the old days, maybe even still to this day, a person goes getting that liability for a house. The mortgage broker says, you go see a mortgage broker. One goes, oh, I'm going to charge you 2 points. So most people are 2 points. What's 2 points? I don't care about 2 points. And I'm like, 2%? And I'm like, but they use points. So they go, oh, yeah, don't worry. We're only going to charge you 2 points for getting this loan once you buy it. And then if you get out of the loan before 20 years, then on that loan, we get another 1.5 points. So most people don't even trip because it's such a small number, right? It doesn't sound like anything. But when you try to refinance your house and your house went up to 700 grand, and now you find out, what's this $7,000 because I'm paying off this other loan? They're like, oh, your previous loan, it had a 1% early payoff point. And you're like, what do you mean 7 grand? They said 1 point. I didn't know what they were talking about. That's how they do it. So these are the reasons why, if you're going to have loans, you need to make deals. So when you get a loan, you need to say, what's the points? They go, oh, it's 1 point, 2 points, 2.5 points, whatever. You need to go, how about zero? How about zero? You know, you try, that's their fees, trying to do all that, but you still try to do zero. And then this thing about reselling or refining or doing anything, zero. Otherwise, I'll go to somebody else. That's the point. So once you understand, just like when they do what you see people do with real estate game, it's not hard with the real estate game, but they start changing terms. So if I tell you, hey, I'm going to earn, this is one of my pet peeves that I still hate to this day. So we're going to do a real estate deal. And I tell you, hey, man, you're going to earn 10% on your money, right? 10% profit. All right. So another guy walks in the room. He looks up and he said, hey, man, I heard that you got a 10% cap rate on this project. I'm like, who else is good? How many people would know what they mean by cap rate? If you're not in real estate or in finance, there's only a few times you're ever going to hear cap rate. It's the same thing. It's 10% cap rate, but they use a different term to make themselves sound smarter so they can extract more money from you. When in fact, all they had to do was say, hey, man, you got 10% profit every year based on these numbers. See, here it is. I don't need cap rates. Now they come up with DSCRs. I'm like, why are you doing this? Trying to make themselves seem on another higher level. It's just ridiculous. And that's so ordinary citizens who don't understand certain things, they make themselves. And so now you pay for it in a different way, because now once you don't understand something, they can move to always fleece. I shouldn't use the word fleece, but I am. I'm just going to use it. They can extract more money from you. 4,800 says the truth trill. That must be gold. It's up to oh my God. It's up to 4,800 right now. Oh my God. All-time high. My goodness. I seen gold at 867. When was that? Like 2016? What do you mean 867? Oh, wait, is it, where? That would be sick. Yeah, there is such a thing. Arbitrage. They get paid based off the base amount. So some agents will try to make the base high. Exactly. But it's nothing more than a tax-free high-yield savings account if set up right. That is true. That's very true. Very, very true. So you have to remember, when you talk insurance, remember after the Great Depression, this is why a lot more of the rich people had these, because what you're just saying right there, it was a high yield tax-free account. The IRA, the Roth IRA didn't exist, but the insurance did. So that's why the wealthy had insurance, and they had insurance for covering if you're worth $20 million, $10 million, $5 million, $1 million, you would insure yourself, right? So if you passed away, then your family can pay off any notes or get the $1 million, right? So that's what it was actually set up for originally. But then as years went by, banks and all that started siphoning off this type of business. They go, well, you can come over here and get 4.5 or 6%. You can get a CD. So why you need that? So then the insurance guys go, oh, we got to twist this up a little bit, make it a little bit more menacing so people don't understand. And then you got so many different people trying to do term life. Then they go whole life. I'm like, what is, these guys are killing me with all this. So now it seems like different stuff. The insurance agent works for a certain agency, and they use certain terminology for their agency, and another one may use it for their agency, but eventually it gets to what you want. But again, they make it very convoluted, in my opinion. Tamara Larry, another practitioner of health. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday Night Live Stream. Brings her simple tagline, hello all. Thank you so much. Very happy to see you once again. Health is wealth is in the mix, so hopefully you'll feel the flow tonight. Dr. Sebi coming up, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, forget the coming up part. Here's what I'm going to do right now. Is this the Dr. Sebi? Let me see. Yep, here we go. So I simply put in Dr. Sebi food list in Google because I was like, I want to find out about this, right? We got to find out. No, last night I seen that. What do you mean 867? Do you mean 4867? Because it was not 867, because people would have been jumping on 867. You must be missing the dollar sign. 4867. Yes, it was up there. It was up there. I can't remember exactly, but it was up there. I remember 47 something before I went to bed. So I was like, okay, but if it went up to 48, that's even better. Jeez. Wow. Holy smokes. All right, let's go. Dr. Sebi, ladies and gentlemen. Health is wealth. So you're working your ass off. You're trying to make things happen. You're staying up late. You're worried. You need nutrients, ladies and gentlemen, to actually keep your body in balance. Just remember one thing. Your stomach is the engine of your body. Just remember this. You have filters all over the place. Okay, up here, thyroid, that's a filter. All right. Your system is awesome. You need to take care of your organs and your blood. Your blood flow cannot be restricted. You guys know what happens when you start crimpling up a water hose. It starts cutting off the supply of water coming out. And if you start restricting, then it doesn't flow through your veins properly to your organs. That's your first item. Salt, ladies and gentlemen, not good for you, otherwise known as sodium. Just saying. All right. Salt, no go zones. I'm not saying 100%, but I'm just saying salty this, salty that. Just saying. All right. Let's just get down to the basics. All right. Yeah. My bad. I'm blazing. All right, man. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it. Here we go. Let's go. Dr. Sebi food list features plant-based alkaline foods. Health is wealth. This is great. I'm just going to preface this. I looked down the list today. I was impressed, and I didn't see anything wrong with this. Nothing. Alkaline foods like specific fruits. First of all, pH balance in your body matters. Cancer, tumors, parasites, they love acidic bodies. They love sugars. Your carbs turns into sugar, ladies and gentlemen, in your body. Your body processes foods inside differently than what you may think. So sugar processes as sugar, bad for you. Carbohydrates process as sugar, which ultimately is bad for you. So you are going to have sugar even in fruit, veggies. Some of them have sugar, but that's normal. So just keep that in mind. All right. So let's get to it. You want alkaline body, you live better. So you want to try and stay on the pH balance above 8. Just saying. All right. You guys heard pH balance above 8. So now they come out with pH water that's 9.5, right? Water is generally anywhere from 6.5 to 8, just so you know. So I am saying 8 and up, just so you guys understand. Okay, simple stuff. All right, specific fruits, apples, berries, dates, all nothing wrong with this. Vegetable. Kale, you guys heard me talk about this. Avocado, squash, dandelion, all good for you again. Grains, I don't know this one. Amaranth, quinoa, spelt, wild rice, nuts and seeds, walnuts, sesame seeds, Brazil nuts, otherwise known as Brazilian nuts. Oils, notice this list is awesome. It's avocado, hemp, and olive. Very, very interesting. Very interesting. Because a lot of people start this coconut oil stuff, all this. I'm not saying it's all bad, but I'm just saying his list is excellent. Just saying. Now, notice this key part here, strictly avoiding animal products and soy, ladies and gentlemen. Stay away from soy. Processed foods, you know what that means. Going out to eat at them fast food joints, going out to eat at restaurants, going out to eat all the damn time. No, those are processed foods. All right. And hybrids. That's right. Like like watermelons that don't have seeds. That's a hybrid. All right. Just keep this in mind. Just saying that's what he's referring to, things like that. All right. To promote cellular health and alkalinity. Also requiring a gallon of spring water daily. Yeah. Again, I'm not a fan of a gallon a day. Not really. That's 8 glasses of water dumping through my body. That's a lot. That's an awful lot. That's his. I wouldn't recommend that, but that's his thing. Um, Let me know what you guys think right now about this list, this first section. Let me know what you guys think. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with this. This would have helped people, but I'm going to say something that if you are a Dr. Sebi fan or not, it's going to be a good and a bad for both of you. One is this little formula or his little food list keeps your body nearly optimal. There's some things here that you're going to need that this will not cover, but it makes you healthy. And as long as you avoid what he's talking about, animal products, yep, get rid of that. Soy, unless you're talking about salmon, tuna, in my opinion. Um, but this right here is a basic. This would keep you good. And again, you do need protein levels. So we need something that's going to give us some more than the protein that these items provide, because we can get it from the walnuts and all that, but it's not enough. All right, so let's keep moving because here it is. I mean, the fruits. He's got berries, dates, figs, mangoes, papaya, melons, seeded. No, yeah, I like how he says seeded. That's exactly right. Plums, sour sop. Okay, sour sop. You cannot take this all the time. Highly toxic. So, I mean, what I'm trying to get at by toxicity in your body, what I'm getting at is you can't like drink this all the time. All right. Toxicity builds up. So, on one hand, it can help with potentially with against cancer. On the other hand, you take too much, it's almost like an overdose. So, it's good to once every blue moon. You can't have it every day. Tamarind, key limes, oranges, and I don't know what Seville means, but okay. Now, that's vegetables. He's got it all right again. Avocado, bell peppers, chayote, cucumber, dandelion greens, kale, not iceberg. He says lettuce, not iceberg. He's exactly right about that. Mushrooms, but they're not supposed to be shiitake. Okay? I prefer the lion's mane mushroom myself, plus there's others, but that's because it helps with your mind. Okra, that a lot of people don't like, olives, which a lot of people don't like, onions, squash, zucchini. You guys getting this yet? This is cool. Sea vegetable, wakame, dulce, spinach, sparingly. That's true. But again, grains, I don't know what this amaranth is. Fonio, kamut, quinoa, rye, spelt, teff, wild rice. All of those people should know a few of these because I don't know what amaranth is and fonio and kamut. Nuts and seeds, like I was saying, the Brazilian nuts, hemp seeds, sesame seeds, walnuts, sesame, tahini. I don't know what that is. Butter. Don't know what that is. But again, some of this may be particular to a certain section of the world, or maybe it is in America. Oils. Okay, these are all uncooked we're referring to right now. Avocado, grapeseed, hemp seed, olive, uncooked. Sesame, uncooked. Okay. Herb and spices, basil, bay leaf, chamomile, cloves, dill, fennel, ginger for your gut, ladies and gentlemen, oregano, sage, tarragon, thyme, cayenne, onion powder. Beautiful. Sweeteners, I'm not agave, syrup, date sugar, and I'm a fan of stevia. Okay, I thought I had a pack somewhere around here. Stevia, plant, that's sweetener as well. All right, now foods to avoid: animal products, meat, dairy, fish. Oh, dairy, it's processed, ladies and gentlemen, pasteurized. That actually creates mucus in your system. So that's why you sh- you shouldn't even have it. All right, that causes congestion in your body, mucus. Fish, it says do not eat fish, which is very interesting. Um, and the meat, again, meat is different, right? I don't eat steak, for instance. Other people love it, but it, like we talked about on Monday, it takes 4 to 6 hours for your steak to process through your body. That's why I don't eat steaks. Once a little piece in a blue moon, but I try to stay away from that. Dairy, don't even, no, dairy's out. Every now and then, of course, the look, ice cream, yogurt, but it's like once in a, because I don't want it all the time. So it's once every, I don't know, ever 6 months, 8 months, whatever, a year can go by. Fish now, I have to have the fish because there's nutrients in salmon and tuna. The soy, tofu, which a lot of people that are vegan do tofu, soy milk, and umami. Really? Wow, that's interesting. I don't, I do have tofu from time to time, but it's once in a blue moon. Processed foods, GMOs, canned foods do not do. Okay. Acidic foods and stimulants like coffee. It's a double edged sword because coffee actually helps your body in some instances, but it is a stimulant straight up. Hybrid fruits that I was talking about before, forget those. All right. Focus on foods that nourish and balance the body's pH. Definitely. Drink a gallon of natural spring water daily. Eeks, yikes. Okay. 4 or 5 glasses. Yeah, but eight? Come on. 8 ounces? Come on. That's a lot. Too much, in my opinion. But anyhow, you guys can Google it for yourself. No hybrids. Choose natural, seeded, or original varieties. That's true. Stick to the approved list of plant based ingredients. That look, now, the good news is this is uh, all this is correct. I mean, all this is pretty much going to make you be very, very good. The bad news, he's making claims such as this and that cured people. No way from this list. I can tell you this right now. There's no way. You're not curing anything from this list. What you're doing though, now here's the caveat with not curing. What you're doing though is you're improving a person's body to be able to fight against some of the problems people have. So you can reverse certain things. For instance, if your arteries are clogged and you're reducing the blood flow and you have high blood pressure and now you have problems with your organs are underperforming, one here, one there. Now all of a sudden, once you get that cleared, now it starts pumping a little better. Now you say, okay, I don't have to take blood pressure medicine again. right? So that is how you could say I cured high blood pressure, right? But there's so if you want to say that, that's fine. But again, making like cancer, if you I don't know what his claims were, but if you start talking about, well, I can cure cancer, I can do this, I can do that, then there may be another protocol. But this will help you because cancer can't live in an alkaline environment generally. Tumors can still live, cancer tumors. Um, but at least you're restricting what it can absorb. And the soursop, by the way, soursop actually hurts cell cancers in your body. But unfortunately, again, it's toxic situation. You shouldn't be drinking it every day or every other day. Just saying, it's very it's a problem, even though it can help your body. All right, so there's ingredients here that can actually help, and there's so I would again, unless you're an official doctor, you can't be saying anything about I'm curing nothing. Even if you said I got a list of people, that ain't gonna cut it either. And then there could be people coming to you because you this little just this list right here. I'm sure he did some other stuff because I'm pretty sure he just didn't say, "Hey, just eat this stuff and go sit down." Exercise comes into play, walking, getting your heart rate up. I mean, you got to move stuff around your body. So again, I could easily see where people would go to him sick, and then he would get them on this plus whatever else he does, and they're better because that's how the body works. As long as you give it the necessary nutrients, your body can repair itself to a certain point. So, so again, the word cure, I, I'm kind of like, I don't like using cure when a person is sick because that connotates that whatever you gave them cured them. And so therefore I can give it to somebody else and they'll cure them. That may not be the case. Two people can have the same signs, vitals, same blood work, take the same stuff, but the same thing may not happen. Or might be on a different timeline altogether and may happen. But the point I'm trying to make is there's no way unless you know the sizes of or exact ailments and what's going on in somebody's body, and which is going to take, we got to go see Tamara Larry at the hospitals or something and get our MRIs and some whatever else, putting some blood through some little uh, light emitting chemicals in the body to see how it's moving through our body and doing all that crazy. I mean, you got to do some actual medical stuff to find out each person's situation. But the good news is this little food list right here is awesome. I give it 100% thumbs up. If you just do this, you're going to feel a hell of a lot better. And some of this stuff actually helps your mind too. So that's good. I mean, this is good. I mean, there's nothing wrong with this. If you just went with this, you're going to feel better within the week easily. Just saying. These are very powerful. Very powerful. So if you're a Dr. Sebi uh connoisseur, then there you go. He's got it. And I'm on my other phones tab. So you have 7 phones, but on 4 of them. Oh my God. He over here having too much fun. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go. So this is how you create your wealth and how you can create your health. Health is going to be number one. When you live in a country such as America, they don't have health care for all, like, well, most EU countries have health care for all. I mean, America does not. So that's going to hurt you and they're going to make you pay for it. And it's not cheap trying to get an MRI. It's not cheap to go in and get anything looked at if you have to pay for it out of pocket. They want hundreds, thousands of dollars for stuff that's just routine, in my opinion. That shouldn't even cost no more than $50. But hey, this is what system we live in. All right. So that's why health should be number one on your list. And rest. Hey, that's not on his list. That thing about trying to get enough sleep, your body rejuvenates itself after you absorbed all these chemicals. I mean, they're not chemicals, all this fruit and veggies and good stuff. Your body processes, but you need to shut down like a vampire. Just saying. You got to shut down. That's the only way your body's going to use up everything that it needs to rejuvenate itself. If you are one of these people who go, I stay up, I stay up, I stay up, that's not good for your body because you'll never get into your deep sleep. Your body won't be able to relax and start doing what it's supposed to do while you're sleeping. You're rejuvenating. All right. So, again, you guys all want to get to a point where, like for me, I don't have an alarm clock. I haven't had an alarm clock for 30 years. I wake up whenever I wake up. So that's why I don't have a problem when I go to sleep. I can stay up till 1, 2 in the morning. You know why? Because I'm not getting up in 4 hours or 3 hours. It's whenever my body says, wake up. And I don't have kids running around anymore. So that's a thing as well. So house is nice and quiet. So nobody's banging on doors, nobody's running around, nothing's happening. So if I go to sleep at 3 in the morning, whenever I wake up, I wake up. I don't have no schedule. So that's why my health should be a little better than normal for than a lot of people because I'm rejuvenating every night according to whatever my body's doing while I'm sleeping, and I'm giving my body the necessary nutrients so I can easily doze off. I can be, as soon as I go to bed, I can go to sleep in like less than 3 minutes. The wife is always like, how do you just go to sleep so fast? I said, because I have nothing to worry about. First of all. Second of all, I don't have a schedule in the morning. It's like, so if I wake up at noon, so be it. If I wake up at 10, so be it. My body's waking me up whenever I'm ready. I don't need to put an alarm. So that is a key that a lot of people miss. So when you have a job and you're stressed, see, that's the thing people don't realize. Stress kills you. It causes you to give off certain chemicals in your body and in your system, and it's affecting you. But you don't realize the effect it does. So when you are worried about a lot of things, you probably need to temper it back a lot because life is hard. Things are going to happen. So you're just going to have to go, okay, let's see how we can deal with this. But you cannot get all worked up because that is bad for your body all the way. And not getting sleep because you're worried is bad for your body. It adds up, is what I'm trying to say. So I'm just giving you a little health stuff because health is wealth. And this is going to be the most important thing for Americans, is because if you have bad health, you don't know what your insurance is going to cover or not cover. All right. I have the wife out here needed to get an MRI. The MRI place says, we can give you an MRI. Okay, fine. Then calls back and says, oh, wait, hold on. You need a doctor to refer you to get the MRI. So now I have to call the doctor. The doctor says, you don't need an MRI. Nah. I'm like, who cares? I need it. Insurance is going to pay for it. Who cares? Why do you care? Why are you blocking? Basically, I get upset. Why are you blocking? What are you talking about right now? I said I want it. Who cares what I want? I need it. I want it. I want to see what's happening just to make sure everything's all good. So they block. They say, oh no, you can't get the referral thing. So we're not going to allow this appointment. I'm like, is this a joke? This is what we're dealing with out here in the medical field, all over. You guys who aren't Tom or Larry might want to pipe up. I don't know what her status is, but she might want to tell people about it because you have insurance. You may or may not have insurance. That's how it works. All right. Especially when doctors can change to another, what do you call them things? Oh, I want another group. They get to change over into another group, which is another thing. Another insurance group says, "Oh, We won't cap you at 60,000 for this procedures. We cap at 100. So now these other guys are like, the doctors are like, well, we already get our 60, but now we can get 100. Oh, we're going to jump to the other group because now for the same procedure, we can charge 40 grand more. This is what's going on out here. All right. It's crazy. They're not in your best interest. Your best interest is to make sure you are taking care of yourself. You are the CEO of your life and you need to act like it under all circumstances. All right. Hopefully, I've mentioned this several times. And by the way, we have gear that says CEO of my life, don't I? Don't we? Yeah, we do. We also have this gear too, emerging millionaires. All right. No new gear coming. So these are almost collectibles now. Just saying. All right. MDA. Okay. Oh, here we go. I missed something. I have whole life policies, right? Exactly. It's just a safe place to store extra cash. True. I think it's good for people aren't disciplined enough to save. Yep. There we go. That's just ignore the scammy self banking talk. Yeah. Yeah. That's another place where they go with the insurance. I talked about it before too. Once you start realizing it still starts being, why am I getting 4% when I can get put something in a stock market? In fact, once you start realizing how you can do this, now all of a sudden you start going, well, if I got to, this is how I came to insurance. I was like, so you want me to pay $250 a month? Out of that 250, some of that goes to here, some of this goes to my premium. So then I was just like, well, isn't this kind of the same as if I paid myself $250 a month? I'm earning 12%. I have appreciation because I'm buying companies that appreciate in price. I'm getting 12%. So I have a savings anyhow at 12%. You're going to give me a policy at 4%, but damn near 2/3 of that goes towards paying a premium. I said, I'm not understanding. I'm not understanding what you're saying right now. They're just like, what do you mean? You can pay us 250 and we're going to put in like $70. I was like, or I can just pay 250 and 250s in. I was like, what are you talking about right now? So mathematically was always the weirdest thing. And so then, of course, when you're much younger, they would say, yeah, but what happens if you die? Would you have the amount for your loved ones that's the amount of stuff? So your house is worth like 800 G's, and all the how much are your bills, and you want your family to be covered, all this stuff. And I was just like, oh man, I mean, man, you're losing me right now. You're losing me right now. What you say? He's like, look, the insurance guys never loved me. One insurance guy loved me. He was this old guy. Oh man, I have the luckiest life of all because I was a young gun and I had my office. A story time when I had my office back in the day when you would have offices. I had a one of those, which is ordinary now, where you have a receptionist and then you have an office down the hall in a wing. And so one day I'm in one wing to the left, he's in the wing to the right, but I don't really know the guy. I just know he's an older guy. He's got to be like in his 70s. I'm in my 23, 24 years old or something. So I go to my office. I have, I'm doing my business. I'm doing the damn thing. So he would always come by. He always sees me with the big smile on my face, always courteous. Hey, what's up? But we never really talked. I don't even know what he did. He didn't know what I did. One day, I'm sitting like in the area where the receptionist is, and I'm just like, chilling. And next thing I know, he walks in. And this time, instead of saying, "Hey, how you doing?" and walk by me, he says, "Hey, how you doing? We should talk." And I was like, "All right, let's go right on." He goes, "Oh yeah, man, you should come down to my office." I never even been to this guy's. I never even been on this other wing section before because I don't really care what anybody else is doing. So as we're get down to his office, this dude has paperwork everywhere. So I was like, I couldn't tell what the guy does. You know what he starts talking about is what MDA 0214 is talking about. He goes, "Man, I'm an insurance agent. I own my own insurance company." I was like, "What?" So he started giving me, not from a agent standpoint, he started explaining the insurance business to me. He goes, I think you need to know." And I was like, "Well, what makes you think I need to know? I'm only 23, 24. What are you talking about right now?" He goes, "No, no, no. You're doing something different. You're doing, I heard you do cars." And I'm like, "How are you, however you're doing this?" He goes, "I know that you're gonna be doing some things, and I know you must be doing pretty good." And I said, "Yeah." I said, "That's the whole point." So I don't know what you're talking, but this guy gave me so much information that I was just like in shock. He made a compelling argument that I should have insurance. And by the way, it wasn't some stupid number. It was like, oh man, it was something silly. It was like $100, and it was almost like 90% of it went toward my my cash advance. It was crazy. Maybe because of my age, but it was something that I could get behind. And that guy hooked me up. So I don't know what everybody else had, but for a long time, that guy only lived for about another 20 years. But I had the best policy ever, as far as I know, because everybody else that came to me showing me all kind of garbage stuff, I was like, "What are you talking about? You're sounding really silly right now." But they were getting fees, right? So that's where this all comes in. They could be getting $50. They could be getting $100. I don't know what their fees were, but that's why their premiums sucks off more of my money. So again, you got to go hunting, go look around. Like MDA 0214 says, that self banking thing, I liked it. I kind of like it, but the problem is it still comes back to it doesn't make sense because even if you put money in for that banking scenario, it takes you 5, 6, 7, 8 years to get where if you would have just had your money sitting somewhere in the first place, it wouldn't even have taken you that long. You didn't need to have your premium siphoned out. That premium siphoned out would have been money going to earnings immediately. And the cash advance thing that Walt Disney and all those guys did, they had a whole different, they had like the whole term. Um, and it built differently. So they were able to withdraw money, loans against their insurance policies. Much different today, even though you can still do it today. But again, you're with a company, they siphon it off. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I don't really want to get into insurance because I'm not adept at insurance, but all I know is I've had so many offers for insurance and they've shown everybody has a different plan for me. And I was just like, come on, man. I always listen, just like I always listen to the solar guy, right? The solar guy every 10 years, I listen just to see if there's something new. And sadly, so far, 10 years ago was 20, it hasn't been 10 years yet. 2017, 2018, somewhere around there was the last time. So 2028, it's right around the corner, 2027, 2028. I'll be going down to the solar guy again and finding out the basic stuff I want to know. Can I get 100% coverage? Can I have a battery pack so I can store it? Anything extra? Am I going to get paid by the energy company? Those three first. You say no to any of those three, I don't need it. Because next, when you start telling me it's 30, 35, 40 grand, whatever, It better be like 10 grand, because that's the only way I'm going to sign up. I'm not going to be paying no 30 some thousand when over X amount of years, and then somebody's going to go, oh yeah, it's only $400 per month. Now, it could get interesting in the next 2 years because our energy bills have started to rise. Before, like I said, even in the largest house I owned, my house is breathing. With nobody there, the bills, the electric was like three something, maybe four. So now when the guy tells me he's going to hook me up with solar and he goes, oh, yeah, we can hook you up. It's going to be 30 some G's and we can only do like 80% power. And I was like, I'm still going to have a bill. He goes, yeah, maybe 50, 70, $100. I was like, and pay you $400 a month? I said, I don't think so. Not going to happen. I said, I pay less than 400 a month or 400 a month and I don't have to pay extra. And because I'm not home that often, sometimes it drops down to 300. I can't remember the number, but it was like 300 a month just breathing. Nobody home, it's 300 a month. When you have them big ass houses, it gets kind of crazy. But um and then the other thing was everybody, you know what, I should do a housing thing. Everybody should have a system in their house. So when you're gone, um need eggs, meat, and fish, high protein, low carb, plus combination of strength training and cardio. Post retirement travel. Uh, hey, if you want meats, that's your thing. Cardio. That's why you should walk around. That's why I said his list is good for food, but obviously you got to do other stuff. You got to work out. So I agree. You're gonna need. I would suggest strength training because that siphons off any fats, toxins. Cardio. I don't. I'm not a fan of cardio. Not at all. I'm a fan of training with weights, riding low impact. I'm, the what do you call the row? I'm down with the low impact stuff and training with some weights, and they don't have to be heavy, just weights, so your muscles are starting to work, so it burns off fat in your body. That cardio stuff that people do, if you're referring to those classes where people are in there for like 30 minutes, 35, 45, an hour, unnecessary. You're wasting time. You might as well just been pumping weights for 15 minutes. You'd be just as good. Cardio, speed walk a little bit. I mean, you don't have to do much because basically your weight training keeps your heart rate up enough for 20, 30 minutes. So anybody who works out for an hour, you're wasting your time. Not necessary. I used to be a fitness trainer when I'm having fun. So I was one of the best because once you understand how the body operates when you do some things, then you can optimize. You don't have to be, unless you're doing those bodybuilding competitions, trying to do all kind of crazy, messing up your body, then so be it. But if you're just an ordinary citizen, no, stretching is much more important, quite frankly. Stretching, flexibilities, stomach muscles, those are much more important as you get older. And your ligaments and cartilage is preservation. That's why you need low impact. So when you're doing them cardio things and running around, doing all this stuff, just keep in mind there could be a toll later. Just like working out with weights, there's a toll later if you lift heavy weights. Just saying, there's a thing. So you look good when you're younger, but your body breaks down, and especially because you're fluctuating. So when you say low carbs is correct, high protein, but see, there's a problem. When you do high protein, Your body has to process the protein through liver, kidneys, things of this nature. That's a problem. So that's why you got to be careful with. I don't recommend high protein at all. Just saying, you know what? Let me go pull up something for you guys. Uh, I'll do this. What effects does high protein have on the? Oh, it came up on Google already. What the heck? I guess other people are clicking this. Check this out. Here we go. Extra protein intake can also lead to elevated blood lipids and heart disease. That's just for starters. Since many high protein foods are high in total and saturated fat, because it can tax the kidneys, that's what I'm telling you. Extra protein intake poses an additional risk to people predisposed to kidney disease. All right. This is why I am not in the high protein thing. The other thing, check this list. This is bad. I'm telling you, this it starts getting worse. Early warning signs of eating too much protein, digestive issues, unpleasant breath, dehydration station, forever fatigue, kidney strain, unwanted weight gain, calcium loss, and bone health. That's an extensive bad list, ladies and gentlemen. It's not worth it. High protein, not worth it. Now you see why I say not worth it. And why I also don't eat steak. Not worth it. I mean, again, every now and then I have some steak, but it's once or twice a year max, if that, because I normally don't eat that. I'll go for the salmon most often. I'll go with some fish, tuna. I'll go with that. I don't go with this meat stuff. So anyhow, I hope that helps out because here it is. Um, you can easily go. I just put up what effects does high protein have on the body. I already knew, and it's just all bad. It's not worth it. You don't need none of this. Your digestive issues, you don't need it. Not sleeping, the forever fatigue, you don't need that. Dehydration, you don't need that. Kidney strain, you don't need that. All right. And there's that's why you guys see a lot of these bodybuilders that were doing all this crazy stuff on their body because they were doing the extra protein. And then when they get older, their body starts breaking down on because of that calcium and bone and all that stuff has a lot to do with your whole overall body. And all of a sudden they can't walk, they have canes, they got, you know, they start having issues. And at once they were like the strongest men on the planet. But over time, you got to make sure you take good care of yourself to replace this stuff and reduce the strain and the digestive issues and all that. So again, this is why high protein things out. You can Google and you'll find out it's not good. It's not good. Um, you want to hear some more? Chronic long-term inflammation or inflammatory disorders. So by the way, when you have arthritis, that's caused from your body's inflammation. Just for saying the simplest thing, right? So when you have pains in your joints, that's inflammation. So if you understand, these are long-term scenarios. Viral infections such as hepatitis B, C, or HVI, HIV, and AIDS. And it gets worse. There's more. Again, I can't keep going down this list, but it's bad. So again, I used to do fitness, so people would start talking this crazy higher protein. I go, no, no, no. In fact, I'd be like, after your workout, go over here and get a shake. All right, go over here and get yourself some kale and spinach and mm, blueberries and strawberries and orange, but get that over there at the shake. In fact, this shake is special. I have it specially made. It's on the menu. Go get that. But 45 minutes after your workout, they'd be like, what do you mean 45 minutes? I said, your body's processing. After we do workouts, your body processes, then it's looking for something, and it takes about 30 to 45 minutes. So go hit the showers, relax, order up the shake. That should be about 30 to 45 minutes. Then you take it. And now it's going to help your body heal your body, because after your workout, your body's looking to get healing. And your healing comes from vitamin C's, B, C's, A, K. Okay, you guys getting this? This is easy if you know. But again, a lot of trainers and a lot of people in the fitness business, they're on a whole nother situation. They're not really, they're not studying how the body operates when you put chemicals or food in your body. All right, enough. Okay, let's go. Need to take some type of multivitamins, especially the older you get. Do I? Okay, listen. I'll say this again. The healthcare industry, just like the insurance business, people make a lot of claims. One of the biggest claims for me is when they say take multivitamins. The reason why I'm going to say this is because I'm going to tell you guys something about vitamins, and anything you put in your mouth that goes in your stomach that has anything to do with um, vitamins or anything, pain pills, whatever. So the the question everybody should start with is, when you go get a pain pill at a pharmacy, not at after your doctors. I'm referring to, you go to CVS or Walgreens or wherever, and you say, "Oh, I need 250. I need the largest dose you have for a painkiller." Most of the time, it's going to max 250, 300 milligrams. You used to be able to find 500. That's it. In order to go higher, you have to see a doctor for 1,000 milligrams normally, right? So you go down, you get your Tylenol, you get your Aleve, you get whatever, and it says 250 most of the time. So you're thinking, okay, I'm going to pop two of these. That's 500. Do you know, out of the 500 milligrams, after it processes through your stomach acids and all that, you only have somewhere between 17% or 20% of whatever that 500 is. So you have less than 100 milligrams rolling through your body out of the 500 you done popped. Then you say, "Oh man, nothing's happening." You're damn right, nothing's happening. Or some people may be a little more sensitive. Something's happening. But the fact of the matter is, the odds of it actually effectively working for a length of time, and I won't even get into the repercussions that your body's going through for taking that crap. There's a black box situation, but nonetheless. So now, when you go see your doctor, he says, "Oh, yeah, here, 1,000 milligrams." Okay, so now we got 170 to 200 milligrams in your body. And now that's why it's more effective. Quicker, faster, effective. And that's why they won't let you have it unless you go to DR or Mexico or some other country. You can just roll up and buy this type of stuff. But again, it's not good for your body. Just saying. Okay, so back to the multivitamins, they work the same way. 17 to 20%. That's the maximum you're going to get. So when they say, "Oh, yeah, here's 100 grams, here's 100 milligrams, here's 200, here's 300, whatever," who cares? You're only getting 17 to 20%. Best case scenario. And that's if your body's efficient. Remember, there's a lot of people who don't care about intaking gluten, which is very important. You should have gluten-free products. You try to find them. Use gluten-free products. The reason why is because health is wealth. Again, I've talked about this before. Your stomach is lined with fibers. Gluten blocks the fibers, so your efficiency on any nutrients that go in from your stomach is blocked. It can't enter here. So imagine you start with one, two, three. You just keep going like your fingers, right? These are all efficient. Then all of a sudden, these are blocked. These are blocked. Now all of a sudden, only this section is taking in the nutrients. Meanwhile, stuff is bypassing. And then heaven forbid if you guys, get the infamous celiac disease where your body can't absorb anything. This is why gluten hurts you. So that's why you have to look for stuff that says gluten free. I mean, I'm not saying you have to do it 100%, but there's chemicals in our food that blocks your health. And then you're going to be at the doctor sick because and that's another thing. Now, if you can't absorb the necessary nutrients through your system, then you're going to get sick. Your immune system's going to be down. So you may not care about gluten, but you should, because all this Dr. Sebi stuff we were talking about, if your body is blocking, the fibers they aren't efficient, then that means you're not going to be absorbing enough nutrients that way. And as we get older, if you were eating products with gluten in it, which a lot of people have been since the time they were born, and now they get into their 40s and 50s, all of a sudden you start getting sick. And then they give you stuff, but then again, it goes through your stomach. It doesn't come out. It's not processed fast enough or efficiently. What's going to happen? Not going to work. This isn't rocket science, really. I'm just saying, you guys can Google all this stuff. But when you eat like, for instance, a lot of people eat pasta, for instance, right? Pasta's not good for you. It's carbs. Carbs turn into sugar. Okay? Just saying. But now, check this out. How about cauliflower pasta? Cauliflower rice. Why? Vitamin C, vitamin K. Vitamin K you rarely can get. Broccoli that you didn't like, you should have, because that actually has stuff in there that actually helps protect you from cancer. I should say, may help you protect you from cancer. They have ingredients in it. You know, the old vegan guy that goes down and gets those little Brussels sprouts, little white things on them, and they put them in their drinks and do all this crazy, mix them up and all that. Guess what? That's good for you. That's choline. Very good for you. Just like broccoli. Eat your broccoli. Yeah, chop it a little bit. There's enzymes in there. Good for you. Protects you against cancer, tumors. Yeah, exactly. Once you start understanding the power of food and understand what to do, that changes everything. So, anyhow, that's how you stay healthy longer, not having a medical emergency, medical situation. And these are the things that can help your body transmit the necessary nutrients, because your body's a transmitter, just like computer chips. Basically, your body's basically a computer. That's literally what it is. So if you put garbage in, garbage out, except in humans, it's garbage in, your body starts breaking down. That's how that works. There's no garbage out. That's the thing. It's garbage in, garbage stays in. And you better do something to reverse it. And again, things can be altered because your body doesn't give up until it shuts down. So if you start, I'll use the celiac situation. So you start eating gluten, all of a sudden you're 45, all of a sudden you're having digestive problems, all of a sudden your body is not absorbing nutrients. Now you have a serious medical situation. So then you don't do anything. You just eat the same stuff, do the same stuff. But now you know what you probably going to have to do. You're going to have to do you eat cannot have gluten in it. To try and reverse or try to make things better, you can't. So it's simple. And then let your body and then put other nutrients in your body that helps you build. You got to have the right vitamins, A through, like I said, K2, K3s, D2, D3s. This is stuff that people don't realize. So all that stuff adds up over time. But I don't really, again, everybody can do whatever they want. But multivitamins is is an interesting choice. They always say, doctors always go, yeah, get your multivitamin as you get older. They tell all the older people, get your multivitamin. Here we go. So, multivitamin side effects range from nausea, stomach upset, constipation, diarrhea, dark stools, to severe, often due to excess minerals like iron or specific nutrients, potentially causing kidney stones. That's not all. Liver issues. That's not all. Or interactions with medications. High doses of certain vitamins A, D, beta carotene can be harmful, especially for smokers or pregnant women. So, taking them with food and consulting a doctor is key. You understand now. All this stuff, like you guys always heard me say that your government's trying to kill you. Are you now, after this conversation? I should clip this last 30 minutes. After this conversation, you guys understand just what post retirement travel says. This is a standard issue for everybody that's getting older. Once a person gets around 45 and up, they start going, oh, yeah, go down and get them multivitamins. Right. And then all of a sudden, people are like, man, I'm having a problem using the restroom. I don't know what's going on. I don't understand what's happening. I'm like, okay, what's your diet? Well, I take multivitamin every day. Okay, maybe stop. How about? See, this is the thing. And then now you're older, 45, 50, 60, 70, and the doctor's going, take multivitamins. Then you come up and be like, man, I got diarrhea all the time. I don't know what's going on. It must be something that I ate. Yeah, it might be that multivitamin and a few other things. But all I'm saying, now you have kidney problems because you've been taking multivitamins ever since you're 45. 10 years, 20 years, faithfully, 3 times a week, 4 times a week, thinking you're healthy. No, you're going to the doctor. The odds are pretty high. Remember back in the day when they were talking about beta carotene and they were talking about putting in the juicer, the carrots and all that? Now look, AD, beta carotene can be harmful, especially for smokers and pregnant women. But actually, it's not really that harmful. But I'm just saying, all of this is side effects, mineral overload. Again, let me explain. Excessive iron or copper can lead to organ damage, liver, heart, brain. In fact, my daughter today called me up and she says, hey, Dad, I'm worried about you. You're going to have dementia or something, aren't you? It's genetics, it's in the family. I said, okay. I said, actually, it's not genetic, but since you grew up on certain foods and eating habits, and everybody in the household would eat those same foods and eating habits generally, then that makes it genetic because you're eating the same way that the person or parents or grandparents were eating. I said, so the odds of me having this pretty slim. Very slim. Odds of her having it, well, I don't know, because I just told her today when I told her about rice, and I said, hey, because she's Asian descent too. So there's rice pretty much every day. She goes, "Oh, I eat jasmine rice. I know it's hella good, isn't it?" I said, "Except one problem. It's bad for you." She goes, "What?" I said, "Yeah, 39, 40 grams of sugar in every fourth of a cup." So you know how people get a couple of spoonfuls of rice, put it down on the plate. That's about a fourth of a cup. That's 40 grams of sugar, ladies and gentlemen. Jasmine rice, white rice, brown rice. Why? Because that's the carb rate. Carbs are usually 39, 40, 41 for white sugar. I mean, white rice, brown rice, even wild rice. So now you start adding up how many carbs you're intaking a day. Next thing you know, you're doing 2, 3, 400 carbs. That's, like I said, 2, 3, 400 packs of sugar in your body. How do you think your body's going to get rid of that sugar? It's not. It's going to start coating some of your organs. It's going to go to your brain, be carried through your blood, and then you got diabetes, by the way, because you're too much sugar in your blood. Then you have leukemia or some sort of problems. Yeah, that's how it works. That is not genetics. It's by what you eat. Just like a lot of black families in the 50s, 60s, whenever they came up with Kool-Aid, 2 cups of sugar for a pack of Kool-Aid, knowing that's killing people. 2 packs of sugar and a pitcher of Kool-Aid. So then when a lot of black people have diabetes and they go, "Well, I don't know what's going on." That's what was going on. You overloaded your system. Your insulin can't keep fighting when you're dumping 60, 70 grams of sugar in your system 2 or 3 times a day, like it's a normal drink. So, all these things is allowed. And that's why I always said your government's trying to kill you. That's why I have these points of view, because it's true. They allow it, acting like, just like they allow people to smoke, knowing it killed people. Same thing. Just like alcohol, bad for you. And they still allow it. It's up to you as a choice, but it kills brain cells. It does a lot of damage. Now, I drink occasionally, but at the same time, you know what it's doing after you read up. And the good news now is there's social media. You can Google everything. You can find out. This is not like rocket science. And again, I don't listen to doctors. I mean, I shouldn't say that. I listen to what the doctor has to say. And then I'm like, "Yeah, but you can do this." And then they're going, uh, "You could do that. But since I'm a doctor, I have to only stay within this parameter for doctors." And his parameter is, "I'm writing you a prescription." He's not going to sit here and say, "Hey, go down there to the store and start getting this nutrient in your system." He's not an alternative medicine guy. He's a doctor. So his only objective is to make sure that whatever you came in here with, alleviate that problem, even if it causes another problem down the line. You're just a long-term paying customer at this point, because all drugs have a black box on it, pretty much. Not all, but a high percentage of it. You correct one thing, that messes up something else, because you're introducing into your body artificial drugs. It's not from natural sources. So, okay. So let's go with those mineral multivitamins. Iron toxicity, black, tarry, bloody stools, severe vomiting, fever and extreme belly pain, Calcium and zinc can reduce antibiotic effectiveness. I mean, this just keeps going on and on, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I just had to let you know. Don't do the multivitamins, is what I'm trying to say, man. All right. Don't even. You can get plenty of nutrients from your food sources the natural way. You don't need to introduce foreign objects in your body. Remember, these pills are coated with stuff and they melt inside your system and this, that, and the other. I'm not sold on none of that. So I open up my like NAD plus resveratrol, NAD plus resveratrol, and NMN, good for your brain function and all that. Those two have to go together. One's a precursor for the other one to work. So instead of putting the caps, I take it out, then I put it in the shake, and then I mix it up separately in my glass instead of swallowing the pill. Okay, just saying. All right, don't put it in the blender. All right, so always take multivitamins with the meal to reduce stomach upset. A lot of people take theirs before they go to work. They don't eat nothing, and they just leave out the door going, "I'm good." So check ingredients. Look for third-party verified brands to ensure quality and avoid unlisted additives. Oh, yeah. Again, the drug business is always the same, ladies and gentlemen. Whether it's drugs on the street or drugs by pharmaceuticals, they put what we call fillers in them. All right? Additives, preservatives, parabens. Those aren't good for you. Just like drugs, when they cut them, they put in fillers in to add more, right? So that it weighs out more. Same rules apply. Pharmaceuticals do this as well. Just saying. Again, this is a cold world. But you guys now, tonight, your health is your wealth. Hopefully, I've helped you out. All right, here we go. We got Zabak the Midget. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. And again, health is wealth and it gives you power is right. That's exactly right. You need the power. Take over, ladies and gentlemen. You need the power. Okay, here we go. My cat scam was $4,000. But Trump cleared all of our medical debt. It's gone now. Made mine's up to 725. What are you talking about, man? Oh man, this is funny stuff. Funny stuff. Funny stuff. What do you mean cleared your medical debt? Do you mean took medical debt off of your credit report? It wasn't Trump. Sorry. Oh God, this is crazy stuff here, man. This is crazy stuff. This is crazy. Um, and guess what happened? Here it is right here. I just had to pull it up. In July of 2025, a federal judge blocked a key role in July of 2025, preventing its implementation, though the administration had already made progress to getting credit bureaus to stop including paid or small medical debts on reports. That was Biden, just so you understand. Okay? It was not Trump, even though he can try to take credit. It was Biden. It was done like in 2022 or 2023, along with student loans were taken off of your credit report. Just so you know. Okay? So I'll even do further. Okay. While an initial rule from the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau in January 2025 aim to remove medical debt entirely, a lawsuit challenging the CFPB's authority led to the rules reversal by the Trump administration. Got it? Trump tried to stop it, man. So that medical debt could be back on your credit report soon. You better get those 0% at 0% credit card for 24 months. You better be getting it if you got a 725. So they fought it sometime in July 2025. It was official, but the credit bureaus already started under Biden because it was 2022. All right. I like to see you give him credit, but no, wrong. He's tried to reverse it, man, so he can F up. He's not trying to help citizens. Let's stop the nonsense. I won't even get into it. All right. Trying to kill you. Again, remove inspectors, remove the FDA personnel and employees, remove the USDA inspectors, USDA employees. Those people check the food. And oh, by the way, since Brian P's not here today, we got recalls. Super Greens, original and wild, berry flavored, pouches and packs. The brand name is Live It Up. The brand name Live It Up is on recall the 20th of the month. Genova, yellowfin tuna, potential contamination, the Live It Up, salmonella, and foodborne illness. This one from Genova, product description, yellowfin tuna. This is bad. Food and beverages, foodborne illness, potential contamination with Clostridium botulinum. Uh-oh. That is bad. Oh, no. This is Tri-Union Foods. This is bad. Jesus. That's 119. 116, Olympus Medical Devices. Uh-oh. VisiShot 2, Flex. I don't know what this is. TBNA needles. No, man. The needles, recall. Oof. Spring and mulberry, multiple flavors of chocolate bars, salmonella. 115. Freestyle Libre 3 and 3 plus glucose monitoring systems. What? Internal testing determined that some sensors may provide incorrect low glucose readings. That's by Abbott. That's a problem. Are you serious right now? Can you imagine your glucose level is 75, 65, and it says it's 95? That's crazy. That's crazy right now. That is crazy. Okay, cheese, Ambriola, Locatelli, Members Mark. Members Mark, isn't that in Sam's Club or Costco? Pinna and Boar's Head. Cheese, ladies and gentlemen, potential to be contaminated with Listeria monocytogenes. The Ambriola Company, that was 115, January 15th. Kerosene, I don't know what this is. It looks like Pini, Pangiri, Ladu. Don't know what this is. Kerosene, Karison, foods and snack. Don't know what that is. We already talked about the CMOS gel from last week. Breadcrumbs outside the box. Jesus. And then another spring and mulberry, mint leaf date, sweetened chocolate bar. All right, these are the top ones for the last week. And by the way, let me just give you guys the link because I hate you guys out here dying because our freaking government doesn't give a damn. All right. So thank you for letting us know the truth, Trill, that Biden in 2022 actually did it. And then Trump regime blocked it. Just so you understand, in July. So it may be coming back on. I don't know. Again, I checked into berberine. No. That stuff works great for diabetes too. Yes. Yeah. Here. Funny you mention this. You want to know the benefits for that? Are you taking berberine by itself? That's the first question. All right, because let me know. But Berberine offers benefits for blood sugar, cholesterol, and heart health. And the key word, metabolic switch. It metabolizes in your body. It's awesome. All right, potentially improving insulin sensitivity, lowering LDLs, a good thing, and boosting HDLs, a good thing. It also supports weight management, gut health, and may help with PCOS. But it's not a magic bullet. Requires consistency, 8+ weeks. I'm going to say something right now. Toxicity is a thing, but okay, and should be discussed with the doctor due to potential interactions and side effects like GI issues. All right. You got that? So you're not going to be taking this forever. All right. Diarrhea. Here's side effects because it's a gastrointestinal situation. All right. Diarrhea, constipation, gas, bloating, nausea, stomach cramps, which are often mild and temporary. All right. So again, and but it does do something. Now, the bad stuff. Let's see. Um it's kind of minimals, but it's still some kind of stuff. That's why you should talk to a doctor. But again, I don't know. But aids weight loss, supports gut microbiome. Healthy gut bacteria, important for digestion and overall health. Good, good, good. Hormonal balance may offer support for women. Great. Anti-inflammatory. Great. Again, you got 8 weeks. And then I shouldn't say only. The one thing is it does mess with your gastrointestinal system. So once again, if you're fine with that, you don't mind, diarrhea, constipation, bloating, nausea, stomach cramps, it comes with it. All right. So, but you should not be using this like every day for all year. All right. But yes, it works. Hold on a second. Uh, Hold on. Let's see something here. I never looked into this. That's why I wanted to check toxicity. Let me go look. I never checked into it. I just know you could use it short term. Okay. Uh, yeah, same thing. Low amount of berberine compound poisoning has been seen in dogs. Okay, I don't really. Well, uh, if you ever experience severe yellowing of the skin or eyes, very dark urine, blacks. Whoa, 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 whoa. What's this? Side effects: sleepiness, drowsiness. I don't know if that's really. Well, I guess it could be side effects. Let's go. Stomach. Do not. Berberine is possibly safe. What does it mean possibly safe for most adults when used short term for your skin? All right. It doesn't appear to have any serious black box warnings. Nothing serious. And just so you guys know, the wife takes berberine. She has it in her mix for a little bit every now and then. That's why I know what it is. Um, but yeah, there's no nothing bad. Just don't, You can't just take it all year, every day. That's the only good news. Thank you for that info, man. Uh, I never heard of this other one, so this will be new. Physalim husk fiber. I'm not a fan about the fiber thing, but let's go check it. Hold on, I've never seen that at all. Let's see, PHSYLLUM. Okay, PHSYLLUM. Psyllium husk. Okay, it comes up. Yeah, there it is again. What is that? Psyllium husk or psyllium husk? How do you pronounce that? I wonder. Psyllium husk is a natural soluble fiber from the Plantago ovata plant seeds used as a bulk forming laxative to relieve constipation and promote regularity. And its key ingredients in products like Metamucil. It works by absorbing water in the gut, creating a gel that bulks up stool for easier passage, and also helps manage cholesterol and blood sugar. Interesting. Available as powder or capsules. Mixed with water, consumed, but needs sufficient fluid intake. You got to take a lot of fluid then if it's going to. There's something to these fiber things, because what this is saying is exactly what some people are worried about, that it actually blocks after it bulks up. But that's if you don't have enough water, I would assume. If it's a fiber supplement, so it's important to start with a small amount and gradually increase intake while drinking plenty of water. That's where people get messed up by doing this fiber stuff. The water is key. That's why I don't usually delve into the world of fibers. But okay, that's a part of Metamucil's mix. Potential side effects: the usual gas, bloating, nausea. Can cause diarrhea or constipation if not taken with enough water. What's enough water? We don't know, but you're gonna need a few 8-ounce cups for sure. But there you go. That's just another laxative. So there we go. That can help. Trump is right. Jerome Powell was screwed up the market. Wiser the most. What do you mean he screwed up the market? Jerome Powell has nothing to do with the market. What do you mean? He protects the market. He didn't screw up anything. What do you mean? It's all-time record highs. How's he screwing up the market? No, listen, if there wasn't tariffs, if there wasn't the added inflation, if there wasn't the spending and all this money going out, then they would have reduced the rates and everything would be stable, except the markets would be even higher. They'd be even higher than they are now. The markets are not even stable and they're rising. The Fed is doing exactly what they intended. They reduced the rates. They're giving banks repos overnight to keep their liquidity because that would be gone. And Trump has spent $2 trillion last year that we don't have, spending wise. And he's also added $4 trillion over the next 10 years because of the big, beautiful bill. And it produces nothing. So the Federal Reserve has done the best thing they can do. I don't see how it's their fault. What's wrong with the markets? You mean, so in other words, the Federal Reserve is what you're saying is actually has done great for the markets, is what you're saying. Even though they shouldn't have reduced interest rates, their Federal Reserve rate either, because the economy's effed up. Just saying, we're losing jobs. We lost, I don't even know the number of manufacturing jobs. Those are livable wage jobs. We lost a record number of transportation companies because of the Trump's new rulings. You know, if you lose transportation companies, record high, you lose farmers filing bankruptcies, record highs, you see something's going to happen, right? Obviously, transportation cost is going to rise, which now means our food and everything else is going to rise because transportation cost rises. Then you have inflation. It's not 3%. It's probably 10 to 15. So The Fed has done one hell of a job. So they did do something right. We have a new record high on gold. That's not the Fed's problem. It's because of the tariffs, and the rest of the world and everybody else knows you're burning. You have to print money. The U.S. has to print money, and so, well, I mean, what are you supposed to do? You just took away Medicare and ACA subsidies to have a Gestapo force, which again, that's not causing any help. You're not creating any jobs. You're not creating manufacturing. So now what? And you're taking people out of the flow of a job. Whether it's undocumented or not, you're taking people out of the flow of who worked for multi-million-dollar corporations. So now you have your farmers who don't have a workforce. So that means our food's going to rise. Then you have housing. Then now you have a substantial amount of that workforce that you took off. So now you don't have the builders to build the houses. Just on those two things alone. Then, because you're doing the Gestapo force, undocumented immigrants, so-called, contribute 95 to 100 billion dollars a year to our economy. But what people don't understand, because they're not here in the SSN Nation, is in your local neighborhoods, those same people were going down to the grocery stores. Those same people were going down to multiple businesses and supporting businesses in their area. Now they're not. Those same people were putting money into our Social Security system and can't collect. So now our Social Security dries up faster. You getting it yet? You live in a third world country. You just don't know it yet. There we go. Wiser the most. Hopefully I helped you out how this all goes. And by the way, I called it 3 years ago. Our countdown started 3 years ago. I believe that's correct. We got down to 11 months and whatever. I counted down 3 years ago because it's ahead of schedule, because I didn't see all this Trump stuff. But either way, he just escalated the situation. So actually, it's going to be perfect timing. Actually, perfect timing would have been like now. But now, hey, at the end of the year, as long as you have all the tenants in place, bank account outside the United States, real estate or business outside the United States jurisdiction, 755 credit score or higher, because when they go and need great customers to get their credit, that market moving, they're going to give the 0% for 36 months, and who knows what the sky could be the limit. You want to be in that program, because what's going to happen after that, you're going to want to be in that program. And now that you have edge of our allies backing away from the United States, saying, you know what, we better not order from Palantir. We better not have the United States chip companies and all these guys in our country, and we're using their products. Our companies in the EU, we're going to start doing it ourselves. So now United States is now going to have a situation over the next 2 to 3 years where our customers are gone, just like China's gone for the farmers. They're not coming back. The farmers are ordering from South America and Central America and Mexico. I mean, China. They're ordering from those countries and south of the border from United States. So now what? The United States food prices are going to continue to rise. Meanwhile, the rest of the world, they get cheaper products for them. So now we're cut off, just like it's 1929, 1930 all over again. Except it's worse now, because the United States has full force. And we have liabilities, $40 trillion in debt and counting. Every time somebody buys a bond, somebody buys the treasuries, they're printing money. And the fractional reserve system means it could be 10, 15 to 1, which people forget about. They just go, oh, they're just printing it. No, somebody bought like that $100 million pension that backed out from Denmark. So the Americans on social media going, it's a pittance. It's no big deal. It's this, that. I go, really? Let me ask you something. Do you think in our fractional system that the $100 million wasn't turned into 1 trillion? I mean, maybe it was turned into 2 trillion that they printed of money. We don't know because it's a fractional reserve system. But that all that printing is now inflationary, and now they got their 100 million back with interest. By the way, 4+% interest is what was paid to it by the American taxpayers. So if you think that's nothing, you can be dumbassery, but the reality of the situation is there's an IOU out here, and that is adding to the money supply. Means inflationary, and we're not talking about this year, you're talking about 3 to 5 years from now. So making up fake numbers about inflation helps nobody other than people who side with the Trump administration and believe what they say. Trump was on his ass, site rates fool, city rates fool. Yeah, he's trying to kick out one of the Fed governors, making up whatever he wants to say about them. The guy who has so many fraudulent real estate deals, and he's talking to like these other people are doing fraudulent, but yet he got off for doing real fraudulent stuff, making up numbers, backed with nothing. But the I don't. It okay. Let's go. Let's just put it plain and simple. This is taped. This is January 21st, 2026. So in history, you can always check out whatever I say, what happens. If the Supreme Court said that it was okay for Trump to remove a governor, that would no longer be an independent body. That means the rest of the world and everybody else is not going to trust the United States. Already they don't. And now you just keep adding nails to a coffin that's about to be closed because the rest of the world is sitting there going, why are we dealing with the USA? They're dangerous. They're a big ass bully. You know what kind of weapons they got? But then the rest of the world goes, we don't really care. We don't really care about their weapons. You know what we're going to do? We're just going to call all our loans due. They're going to default. That's what we're going to do. And then we're going to put what they do to everybody else, economic sanctions. So, yeah, they got the best military, but try to redo their military because their citizens don't have the money to pay more taxes. Just going to have Russia all over again. Citizens, where are they going to get the money from? They're not taxing the guys that with all the money, and their citizens don't have enough money as it is. So now they're not going to have food either. And that electricity might be turned off because the grid, we're not going to subsidize their grid. Just saying, you guys have no idea. This is America plays their part because they have the world currency. But really, countries invest in America and they can back out. They could say, hey, man, I want my money back. Now, all that fractional reserve banking, we're in trouble. They know that. Everybody knows that because they know you printed way more money than you have. In gold, you have it, it's backed by nothing. And then all we got to do is not accept US dollars, oil in US dollars. So there goes your world currency, which is presently around 54%. Now that drops because nobody's going to be transacting in oil transactions aren't going to be US dollars. Russia, Saudi Arabia, China already kind of go around it. They don't use US dollars. So you're opening up a big can of worms. It's very, very bad. Very bad. Gary Wool, welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. We talked about health is wealth. We talked about passive income. We talked about that pen, pad, and paper. We talked about that crypto Visa, which is now a crypto MasterCard debit card. We talked about that. We talked about a lot of things. Cheating in the next room, making plans to go there soon, talking on the telephone, making plans to be alone. Hey, Gary Wool, it sounds like a plan, man. Because you know how this works. You know what I find very fascinating? People do things like, I'm going to have a farm. I'm going to grow food. I'm going to have guns. I'm going to have a safe. They're doing all this preparation stuff, right? And I'm like, whatever you have does not matter in the real world. This is not TV. This is not Hollywood. Because I'm going to tell you right now what's going to happen. You know how we have a ICE situation right now? They roll up on people, box people in with their cars, scare people. People don't know what to do. They freak out, maybe drive off, drive into their cars, maybe talk shit, whatever. People act different when they're under stress. You really think after I get your ID and you done messed up my car, you don't think that I'm going to be going to your house immediately? What the hell are you saying? Your car better not be running. After I look at your address, I'm going to your house, doing just what ICE does. Going to people's house that they put into the detention center, stealing their cars, stealing their money, taking their TVs. That's the same crap that's going to happen. You ain't stopping nobody. So all that stuff that you have sitting at your house, all that is a safe deposit box for the bad guys. Just saying, you can have all the weapons you want, but you can't shoot everybody. It only points in certain directions long enough. So again, all this stuff that you see, I used to say all the time for Hollywood and everybody doing this Hollywood nonsense, I would say, dude, in real life, it's not going to be 1-on-1. It's not going to be 5-on-5. It's going to be just what you're seeing with ICE. A group of people showing up saying, give us your stuff. Give us your passwords. Give us your wallet. Give us your ID. Give us your PIN. Hey, what's your PIN number? We're taking you over to the ATM machine with a gun to your head. You lie to us, you're dead. Choices. You can lie, keep your money, but, can't take your money with you. And even if you tell them, doesn't mean you're going to live either. So again, I've seen people fold on less than what ICE is doing. So every guy out here, every person, woman, man, child who thinks they're going to be hard, think they're going to be all this, you ain't hard when 10, 15 people show up. They got you surrounded. They got weapons just like you. I mean, it's almost like, are you willing to die today? Most people aren't willing to die today. Just saying. All right. You're funny, Gary Wool. You're funny. Tay, welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. All right, let's go. I'm going to get out of here, ladies and gentlemen. No more victimhood mentalities. Loper 2680. Hey, you are a victim. My life changed when I dropped the rap music. Oh, geez, Tay. You think? Bang, bang, shoot 'em up, blah, blah. That's bad. That was, in fact, that's one of the reasons I never really listened to rap, is because it was fun and games when it first came out, right? You talk a little smack about somebody, or you don't. You just talk about beautiful women, going to the club, having fun, Then all of a sudden, we get this West Coast gangster stuff, which is they take credit for. Now all of a sudden, it's bang, bang, shoot 'em up, you, me, police. And then people are singing these lyrics. And the next thing you know, And I was always one that I didn't really like cursing, and I don't like using the N word and things like that because the colonizers used it. So pretending like it means something different to me wasn't a thing because my parents, my grandparents, they had to live through the water fountains on the opposite sides. They had to live through can't eat here. We're not going to serve you N word. That's a derogatory. So I never signed up for. That's why I don't call black people the N word because to me it's always been derogatory. My parents, my grandparents grew up. I had to listen in Florida when I was a little kid. My dad's over in Vietnam, so I stay at grandma's house in Florida. I get to go to school in the South. I'm a military kid. My school is mixed. I come down here to the South because my grandmother lived on one side of the street. This everybody who lived on this one side of the street goes to the white side of town school. And so I don't think nothing of it really. I'm just going to school. I don't know there's a white and black side of town because I've never had that. So I've told this story before. It was shocking. I get up to the school and I just see like basically white kids, black kids run around. It's before school starts, so uh, I see black kids on the swing. So I'm just okay, normal day to my life until two black kids are on the swing. Three white dudes showed up, and I mean we're all talking. We're little. We're like eight. We're what second, third grade or something. So the white kids roll up and said, N word, get off the swing. I looked around like, who are they talking to? I was like, what? Hold up. That that was crazy. But the crazier part wasn't just I saw some white dudes say N word, get off the swing. That part right there, I was like, oh, there's about to be a there's about to be a fight right about now. No, there was no fight. What I saw, I was in shock. I saw black kids, didn't say nothing, got off the swing, walked off. I said, I walk up to him and I said, hey man, what are you doing right now? We supposed to kick their ass. These kids go, oh no, man, it's all right. I'm like, what do you mean it's all right? They said, no, man, it's all good, man. They put their heads down and I was like, are you lost your mind right now? They're like, no, man, it's all good. I said, no, it ain't all good. No, it ain't all good. So I walk back up to the dudes. And now you have to understand, I don't have Southern slang. I talk how I talk now. So they're looking at me like an alien. They're like, where's this dude from? He ain't from around here because he's talking what they used to call me. The black people said I talk proper. The white people said whatever, but the black people go, you talk proper. I was like, what? What is that? So I walked back up to the swing. The white dudes got on the swing. I stopped the swing. I said, hold up, man. You need to get off the swing. I didn't curse then. You need to get off the swing, man. They're like, N word, you need to back up. We're on the swing now. I said, you about to get your ass beat right now. They're like, nah. They said something like, we got two or three of us. I said, you're gonna need four. Get off the swing. Dude's like, what? These guys everybody's both sides are looking at me like I'm an alien. They're like, what the hell is going on? The white people are shocked, the white kids, the black kids are shocked. Surprisingly, after I insisted, hey, they were on the swing first, man. They can get off in about 5 minutes. Class is about to start in 10 or 15, I think, right? So whatever we came to, they said, all right, the black kids get on the swing. All's good. I thought, until I get home on the black side of town. The black kid said, you talk proper. You're a problem. What? What do you mean? What you did at school today can get us in a lot of trouble. You ain't from around here. I was like, are you kidding me right now? Are you serious right now? This is how you guys operate down here? They just call you the N word, tell you what to do, disrespect? Pretty much. I said, not on my watch. You a problem. I said, you damn right I'm going to be a problem. You better join up because this ain't happening when I'm here. So now all of a sudden I get a call. My mom says, Eric, come in. I said, what? What do you mean? She goes, I got a call from the school. You're disruptive. What's going on? I said, I told mom this story. She's like, what? She said, oh no. I said, yeah. They want to see us in about 20 minutes or something. So we got to go up to the school. We go up to the school. The principal's in there. Principal starts his BS. Hey, Mrs. Bird, your son was out here being disruptive at the playground this morning. We don't really know what to do. We started this program where we have, integration, and we thought everything might be fine. So my mom's like, well, what did he do wrong? And he's like, well, he was threatening some kids. Yeah, my son told me. He said that they called some of his friends and even him the N-word. He's like, yeah, that's just, that's just the thing. That they didn't mean no harm. Mom said, well, where's their parents at? Where are they at? Why aren't they here? I think you need they owe my son and the other sons an apology. Mom's is straight up. She's like, and my mom grew up there. She wasn't that mentality. She was like, oh no, nah, it ain't happening. As soon as she said that, I have a little grin on my face. I'm like, I'm about to beat these little motherfuckers' ass tomorrow. I didn't curse though at the time. All I was saying was, I'm gonna beat these dudes' ass every day I see them. That's what I was thinking in my head, smiling. So principal goes, oh, we don't need to call their parents in. We don't need to talk to them. My mom's like insisting, like, nah, we need to have a meeting. I don't think this is right. So he's like, nah, it's all right. Everything will be fine. Just as long as, Eric, you can behave yourself out there. I'm like, he has no idea. This is about to go all bad for them. It's gonna be bad. So after that, it was regulating. Let's just put it that way. And the fact is, then the white kids started backing up because they were like, this dude ain't even he don't even care if it's 2-on-1, 3-on-1, 4-on-1. This dude ain't caring. He's just taking names, kicking ass. And I wasn't that big either. I was generally undersized compared to everybody else. So that was the other thing. They were like, how's this guy doing all this stuff? And I started not intimidating, but I would just regulate. I was like, this N-word thing is stopping ASAP. Never. First person, you're getting popped off. Straight up. Now, I had to go back to the other side of town. This is a good story. This is why I can't deal with the N-word personally. So this is why, when I go to the black side of town, they call me, I'm now a problem. Because I'm sticking up for black people, not wanting the white dudes to say the N-word. And I'll give you the other story I told you. There's other stories, but I told you guys another one, and this will be the last one. That's why I stopped listening to it. That's not true. If you set it up right, about 10 years in your policy will be worth more than what you put in. To me, it's a backup emergency fund. If I see a great opportunity, it's extra cash there. Yeah, that's about right. But it does take about, you just said it, 10 years. So you understand, MDA, check it out. Do the numbers first, because if you start saying, Eric, I give this thing 400 a month, and then you say it takes me 10 years to reach a cash. Well, I don't think it takes 10. I think it's like 7. But anyhow, if it takes that time frame, what happens if you would have just did 400 a month for 7 years? You still would have availability to use that cash yourself, because you do have to pay your premium, right? And then you're only getting a percentage based on whatever you put in there versus the 100% of that. And you don't have to deal with 4%. You can get way more. Double. Easy. 8%. If I mean, come on. That's what I'm trying to say. You're locked. It's not a, well, I shouldn't say that. They do have variables. But they're still not, they're basically around the treasury number. That's it. So if you start running the numbers, you would have had 100% of what you invested going up at a double or triple the rate. So I agree with you about the old insurance adage that it covers more later. That is true. Like if you had $1 million policy, there's nothing wrong with having that, right? Because it's like you're using that for if you pass away down the line. Nothing wrong with that. But then you got whole and term. You have several different varieties of it, which some just expire, some you just keep pouring into, and they increase. And here's the other thing: remember, as you get older, your premium gets higher. Don't forget. All right. So that's the other thing. So the premium that you had, let's use a number. Started out is going to be higher at 40. Just remember that. So all that money that you could have put in, you could have been, let's call it what it is. If you're paying X amount of dollars, and if you die early, it works out great as far as I'm concerned. If you die later, because it costs more, as you get to 50, you probably gonna have to change your policy altogether. But just saying. But yeah, that's how the way you're looking at it is the best way to look at it. That is the best way to look at it. I gotta admit, that is great. The world above. Eric B is president. Hey man, there. Well, hey, after what happened, after we have a rogue, a guy that has felonies and stuff like this, hell, anybody can become president now, and obviously I cannot, because I'm going to do things just like what I'm talking about. We regulate. There's no I'm just like simple. I'll be like, hey, guys, we going back to the tax code 1960. All the rich dudes and corporations are going to be like, oh, we're out. I'm like, okay, great. Great. Let's get your system. This old system stuff is out. Where's the new companies that want to come and pay people livable wages so they can buy your goods and services? Let's get this stuff right. Let's go. Oh, by the way, healthcare for all. We'll have enough. We can either print more money, or that's not really the option, or we'll do some other things. And the other things, people are like, what other things? We'll subsidize it. People are gonna be like, oh, that's like socialism. I'm like, what do you think you pay taxes for? Come on now, stop playing. All right, keep it simple. That's exactly right. Judah Barak, welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. And once again, we've been on here for 3 hours. We got to run. All right, wiser than most. He's laughing. Eric, today we had our first meeting with professional interior decorator we're using in our Punta Cana apartment. We're hoping to close this year. We're very impressed with her work via Instagram. I know. Your brother's spot is awesome, man. Um, she does impressive work. I have to agree with this. But the question remains: your brother, he's ahead of you. I think he has a smaller unit than you. You can get the numbers out now. You know what he's making for the last 6 months. You know the occupancy rate. You know the profit. So is it going to be worth it to spend? I'm guessing since she's a professional, 30 G's. I'm I don't know how it's 30 G's, but let's say it was 20 to 25 to 30 G's. Do you think it's going to be worth it? Than if you just left it. Well, I guess you can't really leave it because it's not fully furnished, right? So anyhow, uh that's great, man. In fact, you never gave us the name. I love Trump, a boss. Man, he's an asshole. I feel safer with safe what? What are you talking about? What does safer mean? Safer from who? From who? What? What? No terrorist attack or I mean, what do you safer? Wait a minute. If you're a person of color and ICE is in your city, you're gonna feel safe. Let me get this straight. You're gonna feel safe? Really? Stop playing with me right now. If you're a person of color, you feel safe in America? Period. Without ICE. What do you mean safer? They're the ones kidnapping people. They're the ones taking people's stuff. What do you mean safe? On site, they can box you in, grab you, snatch you. Your family won't even know where you are. You feel safe. This is just a warm up. What do you mean you feel safe? Sooner or later, how are you going to feel safe when somebody is going to combat this situation? If it can't be through law, courts, then how else is it going to be handled? This is where this goes if this continues. And how do you feel safe when you have somebody actually trying to kidnap and actually talking about invading other countries? How do you feel safe? How is this? Where's this safe thing from? Man, come on, man. What are you guys talking about right now? Safe. Yeah, okay. Um, let's just pretend that we're all safe. Let's just pretend there's no ICE kidnapping USA citizens and legal residents. Let's not pretend that they're snatching people's phones at coming into the country and looking at their phones and saying, "Step over here. I need to see who you're talking about on your social media." Yeah, you feel safe. What kind of facial recognition all over the place being added by Palantir, and you feel safe? Man. Yeah, Nazi Germany was safe too, I suppose. Not out here. Jesus Christ. I mean, this is crazy to me. Uh, a boss not. Uh, I don't know what you mean. I don't know what safe means. Maybe that's what it is. What do you mean safe? There was no country attacking us. No country was really against us with previous presidents. Our presidents weren't going rogue. So I don't understand what this safe thing is. Safe is not safe when you say, I'm going to do something with Greenland. And then NATO goes, well, we're going to protect Greenland. We're going, I mean, what are we talking about safe? You're over here running rogue missions all over Africa, rogue missions in the Middle East, Israel running rogue missions. And you guys are, and they're talking about putting a Qatari base inside the United States. What do you mean you feel safe? What are you talking about? This is insanity right now. You guys got to be joking right now. You really, really got to be joking. Seriously, creating more enemies for the United States and its citizens, and you feel safe. This is interesting. This got to be a mind game. This got to be a mind game to me. Somebody's messing with you guys drinking the right water out here. Yeah, Trump, all right. Sure he is. For who? By the way, by the way, um, since 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 Trump is all right with black people, There's not one black U.S. attorney or any DOJ officials in his administration, for starters. He took all the black pictures of the admirals, the generals, and any people of color off the walls. This your guy. He's running around picking up brown and black people and people that look like us from other countries and banning them. And he's all right. He's making sure that you can't have a decent job and a decent wage by the skin color, can't go to the school you want by your skin color, and he's all right. What freaking craziness is this? He's all right. The frick? He associates with you because he got charges. You black people should associate with me, you criminals, because hell, y'all got charges in a systemic country to make sure that black and brown people have charges. Come on, man. This is craziness talk to me. I'm sorry. You done walked into some crazy. I can't rock with this dude. I can't rock with him. As long as he was being Mr. Comedian, Mr. I gotta have a Trump Tower, I got a boxing match, so I'm cool. Okay, whatever. I got friends, cool, because we got benefits and we need your money, so we're gonna be at the same spot. So of course we're gonna be hanging out, having fun because you ain't president. You're just a dude with money. But as a president, let's get some stories straight, ladies and gentlemen, because I got some people here that don't know stories. You understand when in Atlantic City, he had casinos? Do you know blacks, minorities, white people worked there? It's a funny thing. When some people showed up, he told blacks and minorities, I don't want to see you on the floor. You need to get off the floor when I show up with some of my friends. This is your guy? That he's all right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You sounding like them dudes down at grandma's place. It's all right, man. It's all good. You're the problem. This is funny to me. Market is sideways. Hey, man, it should go a little sideways tonight, not that much. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Actually, the market went up today. It'll probably go up tomorrow because, Trump gets a call from his rich guys and go, hey, man, this is a bad move. This is what's happening. You got to reverse it so it'll go back up so we can make some more money. They're playing everybody. All right. Hi. Sojourner of the island, welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. And I'm gonna have to get off here. That you guys know when I start talking about Trump, there's people that have no clue who this guy is. Meanwhile, seriously, a pedophile? Really? Seriously? That no problem either. He's all right. Jesus. Hi. I just wanted to add over 50 increased protein. Protein is needed in order to compensate for muscle loss. You can Google that. 50. What? I just wanted to add over 50 increase. I don't know what he means. I need to, maybe he wrote this down. Are you talking about 50? What are you talking about here? Let's go see. 50 grams? Is that what? The breast protein for over 40 is easily digestible type. For example, for beef, ground beef is a better choice than steak. Good point. At the end of the day, the more real food, the better. Exactly. Because that is one of the things that is true. Your plant protein is different than meat protein processes. That is true. It takes you a lot more of plant to get the protein you need. That is very true. But there's other factors. So muscle loss is going to come from several different factors. If you don't eat enough calories a day, your body looks for fat and it also looks for muscle. So that's another thing. So a lot of people do this. I don't eat for 8 to 12 hours. Well, you're starving your body because you should be putting some good stuff in your body every 3 hours, roughly. You should have little snacks of good stuff every 3 hours, is basically what it is. So you're actually starving. So your body starts searching for resources. And if you don't have the resources, it says, okay, I'll just start eating some of the fat away. And then if I don't get enough for whatever comes next, I'm going to start taking away some of your muscle. But Sojourner of the Island, thank you for mentioning that, because yes, that is a better alternative. And there's other meats that's equally good with protein as well. The True Trill, no vitamins, black seed oil, oregano, oil leaf extract, caps, etc. Natural groceries or sprouts, or take the plants. Exactly. There you go. There you go. Wild rice. I haven't looked at wild rice. I don't even really eat wild rice except once in a blue moon. Let's go. Let's go see wild rice carbs per cup. Let's go. Let's go see. Let's see. Wait. Here we go. Oh, no, 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 and a hell no. 120 grams of carbs, 1 cup of wild rice. Is wild rice okay for carb diet? Let's go see. Low carb diet. How can it be? That's crazy. Okay. 1 cooked cup of wild rice packs in 7 grams of protein and only 0.6 grams of fat. What are you talking about? If it has 120 grams of carbs, that is fat. Wild rice is also a lower glycemic food than other grains, but it's important to remember that 1 cup has 35 grams of carbohydrates. There you go. This said 120 for 1 cup. So either way, 35 grams is still just like any other rice. The other rice is white rice is 40. Brown rice is like 39. Either way, they're in that. This is the lowest one out of the rices, except for, you guys know, 35 grams. That's still high, ladies and gentlemen. That's 35 packs of sugar. Only serve up to 1/3 to a half cup of rice at a meal. There you go. They didn't already, they're trying to cut down the carbs. 1/3 to a half cup means 17 grams, but that's still a lot. I mean, that's 17 packs of sugar. That's going to give you a boost, and then you're going to go to sleep. Well, maybe not that enough, but that's why people go to sleep and nod off in the next hour to 2 hours, because you took all this sugar in. So there you go. There's lots of people who eat this wild rice by basically, what do you get? You get like a few tablespoons, which is almost like a half a cup to almost a 3/4 of a cup. Mix it up and do whatever you want to do, but that's out of line. That's really out of line. 17 grams, 15, 20, 25 grams. That's on par with soda and juices. It's not good for you. Wild rice is very nutritious grain that has been used to treat diabetes in China. How? You're increasing your glucose level. And if you already have insulin problems, your insulin is not working. That's why you have diabetes. So I don't understand. My insulin can't do anything with added sugar. So either I'm going to be diabetic edge or diabetes 1, 2, 3. So that, I don't see how that helps. That's weird. Is wild rice healthier than white rice? Yes, wild rice is significantly healthier. That is true. But again, I don't like the carbs, so I'm not with it. Cauliflower rice, ladies and gentlemen. Go with that one. Now, some people would say, okay, what about the protein intake? Well, there's only a little. It's probably smaller than wild rice. Just saying. Oh, by the way, purple potatoes, like I said, purple this, purple that. Got the tingling foot. Looper. Loper, I'm glad to hear that. I think this today's going to be a good day on the market, and I think tomorrow. You have to eat some carbs. Oh, Gary Wool, no, you don't. You know why? Because the food has carbs. Even the good food has carbs in it. So you don't have to just put in 35 grams. You're going to ultimately put in the grams anyhow, even with the best of food. So you want it reduced. You don't want to have 35 grams, 35 packs in the morning, 35 packs in the evening. You've got 70 packs of sugar in your body. That's crazy. That's not good. Got a bad heart condition, still eating hog mog and shit. Oh, come on, man. Why is it the most? You're a comedian. There is no way you're eating this stuff, man, with a bad heart condition. You got to be joking right now, man. Come on. You're joking. Now I know you're joking. Brian P., Mr. Dividend is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. And unfortunately, Brian P., here's what I did. I had recalls. We already went over them. And I got to run because I just realized it's 3 a.m. Oh, no, it's 12 a.m. 12 a.m. It's midnight Eastern. Eric is his tagline. Happy day, Eric. I hope all is well with you and your family. Yes, it is. Happy day, SSN family. Smash that like button. Give it a one piece. Everybody that's watching right now. All right, we pretty much covered everything. I can't cover this anymore. Trump tax cut on tips helped me a lot. Stop it. Stop it. There is no. What is this? Are you joking with me right now? He didn't cut taxes on tips. You still pay the taxes. You have to file your taxes next year. It's a write off. It's not a. Oh my God, man. Stop. 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 You still pay taxes. Oh my God. What am I doing out here right now? Oh my God. Uh, okay. Refers to a temporary federal income tax deduction for qualified overtime pay. And by the way, if you make more than 20, I think it was 20 G's or something, then forget about it. It's only running for years 2025 through 2028. All right. That's it. Allowing workers to deduct up to 12,500 or 25,000 married of the premium portion, time and a half from federal income tax, though payroll, state, and local taxes still apply. Stop playing out here, man. Y'all tripping. All right. See this right here? See, I already know what it was because, again, I know what the Trump does. He's doing stuff for the rich people. He's making it look like he's doing something for you. Meanwhile, he's doing something for them. That's how he's doing this. All right. So, no, it's a tax deduction. It's not like you had no taxes and overtime pay. That's not even how it works. So, you got to file your taxes. So, if they started it in 2025, then that means this year by April 15th, you file your taxes. And depending on how much you made, then you'll be able to get a deduction. No money's coming back. And yes, you were paying it. All right. Stop. God. It's as if you didn't get overtime. All right. Let's see. There's a number, though. Let's see. Payroll taxes, Social Security, and Medicare taxes still apply, which means you got to pay 15%. So you're paying 18% in taxes on overtime. And if you live in states, then you're paying whatever your state tax is. So I don't know what you're referring to that you getting your overtime pay got less. That's not true. All right. It's a tax deduction. So if you qualify, I'm looking for the number though. There was a number. You had to make less than a certain. To work, you'll calculate your overtime premium, time and a half earnings minus regular play. Claim it as a deduction on your federal return, ensuring your income isn't too high. Okay. You have to make less than 150K, which is a large percentage of the population, and still pay regular payroll taxes on that income. So there you go. You're going to be paying on that overtime money. Payroll taxes are coming out just like they said. So it's just a deduction. As long as you don't make over 150. I thought it was 25, but it's all good. Deduction caps at 12.5. So there you go. Best case scenario. And if you're married, 25. Overtime pay is still subject to payroll taxes, Social Security and Medicare, and potential state tax. Man. All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have to wrap it up. I've been on here 3 hours again. I was talking about the wife's healthcare systems. We talked good about it. I would vote for Trump again if I could. TC, not going to happen, hopefully, but he will try to actually stay in office. So that's a thing. Judah Barrett, futures is the fastest way to get rich over options, Bitcoin, and indices, Forex. Yeah, a lot of people do futures. Death Row, what a brother know. Man, I hope you're not on death row, man. I left the Democrat plantation 20 years ago, Larry Real XO. All right, so you're voting for all this that's happening right now. Yes, I use Berberine, never had an issue. Yeah, issues are minor on that. It just says you shouldn't do it past 8 weeks for one. Another said don't go past 6 months. All right. So that's cool. Steak and Shake to pay Bitcoin bonus to hourly employees. Here's how much. Oh, I love that. Restaurant franchise Steak and Shake is deepening its embrace of Bitcoin, teaming with publicly traded Bitcoin services firm Fold to offer a BTC bonus to hourly wages. How will that work? Usually the business has to include that on their tax structure because they have to buy the Bitcoin. So that's going to be interesting. Using Fold's infrastructure, the restaurant will pay employees a bonus of 21 cents per hour, paid in BTC, which will vest in full after 2. Oh, okay. Pretty good. Pretty good. I saw. Yep. 100. Okay. Well, we was slapping Tupac. You got that right. Yep. Bay Area. Cali. My. What age you started going bald? I think my year is here now. Oh, man. A long time ago. I don't remember. 30? Long time ago. Long time ago. Well, they say the mountains are actually petrified giants or titans. Terry O'Veal, welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. I hope you guys learned a lot from the health is wealth portion of the live stream. And once again, thank you so much. I believe it. Exactly. Somebody had to move all that stuff. Trump says hello. No, he doesn't. I'll be deported. E. White. E. White, another investors in the house, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. And he says, DA, no tax on overtime does not apply for anyone. This under the Railroad Labor Act. There we go. Exactly. There's more to it. But anyhow, we all know pretty much how it's going to go, right? You guys have a deduction. There was no tax part. It was tax was taken out. Now you get to write it off. Taxes. And then they tried to block you from being able to have your free taxes done. Did anybody know that? By the Trumpster. His administration said, oh, yeah, you guys get that free tax from TurboTax and all these dudes. Nah, no more. We don't want that. We want you to, cut that out. All right. Just saying. Yeah, not very helpful for ordinary citizens, but it is what it is. People still rocking. But all right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap this up. We'll talk on Friday night. And I appreciate everything for you guys being here, listening, participating. I love you guys very much. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And I'll finish the rest of the story on Friday night. All right. And with all that said, it's dangerous out here. All right. There's people walking around asking you for your ID and Are you a US citizen and all this crazy stressing people out? A lot of people are stressed, they're worried, they're scared, they don't know what's going on. So you never know what somebody's going to do. So you have to be calm and pay attention to your surroundings, because you never know when somebody could lose their mind. And with all that said, no matter what you do out here, make sure you keep your head up, keep moving, and I'm